This page is the front cover of Dreamcast Magazine Volume 27, 1999. The cover promotes a rush of new Dreamcast titles coming this autumn. The main featured game is Kido Senkan Nadeshiko, The Mission, which is prominently displayed with characters from the anime series. Other highlighted games include Super Robot Wars Alpha, Super Hero Sakusen, Eternal Arcadia, known internationally as Skies of Arcadia, and Rent a Hero No. 1. Densha de Go 2 is also mentioned with a note about high-speed 3000 series trains. The page also teases upcoming features like Dreamcast title reader rankings and a section exploring visual memory. There's a mention of Shenmue, Mazaken X, likely referring to Majestic 12, the Space Defense Force, known as Gun Griffin 2 internationally. D no Shokutaku 2, D2, J-League Pro Soccer Club Wotsukuru, likely referring to Sega Worldwide Soccer Club or J-League Pro Soccer Club Wotsukuru. 2. Black Matrix AD, Sentimental Graffiti 2, Sunrise Ayutan, Sunrise Heroes, and Revive Susei. The bottom section includes details about the issue number, release date, the 10th of September 1999, price, 420 yen, and mentions bonus items such as a Soul Calibur and Cool Borders Burn, double-sided poster, and a Namco illustration postcard. It also highlights Soul Calibur, Seaman, and professional baseball team Otsukuru, Baseball Pro Yaku team Wotsukuru, as detailed features inside. This page is a promotional page for the game D2, developed by WARP Inc. The page features a collage of screenshots from the game, showcasing various characters and in-game environments. The large orange text D2 dominates the center of the page. At the bottom, it includes the company information for WARP Inc., including their address in Tokyo, Japan, and their website URL, http://www.warpjp.com. This page is advertising a Dreamcast game compilation or release on 4 CD-ROMs for 6,800 yen, scheduled for release on December 23rd. The images featured are clearly highlighting screenshots from prominent upcoming titles. You can see visual elements that are instantly recognizable as coming from the highly anticipated Shenmue, featuring Ryo Hazuki, and locations from the game. There are also images that suggest content from Resident Evil Code Veronica, showcasing some of the terrifying creatures and environments from that survival horror title. Overall, the page is building excitement for a significant Dreamcast release date at the end of December. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Cool Borders Burn. The advert proclaims, "Exhilarating full throttle! Those cool borders are power-up and debut on Dreamcast!" It highlights that this Cool Borders installment will captivate game freaks with heated snowboarding action. The game features large super pipes and series popular versus modes, along with new modes. It promises overwhelming speed and reality that will thrill players, boasting that pulling off flashy tricks will be cool and exhilarating, blowing away the summer heat. The advertisement suggests it will be a new snowboard legend. Screenshots show in-game action and character art to showcase the enhanced graphics and gameplay. The text mentions new features, including vast slopes, changes in BGM based on tricks, improved graphics, 60 frames per second speed, and boost power. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Cool Borders Burn. It promotes a special campaign where purchasers of the game can win prizes. 3 winners can receive an original snowboard, and 30 winners can get a quo card. The advertisement features an image of the game box art, and the price is listed as 5,800 yen. This page is the contents page for this Dreamcast Magazine issue. It lists a variety of upcoming and featured games with their corresponding page numbers. Titles mentioned include Super Robot Wars Alpha, Super Hero Retsuden, Eternal Arcadia, which is noted as a full-scale RPG starting, Rent a Hero No. 1, Densha de Go 2, D2, Maken X, Shenmue, Re-VE. So, say Black Matrix AD, Sentimental Graffiti 2, and Zombie Revenge. There are also sections for Dreamcast special reports, articles on visual memory units, and puzzle games. This page provides information on Dreamcast games. Dreamcast Hot Information highlights upcoming titles like New Japan Pro Wrestling, Toucan Retsuden 4, and Poppin' Music 2, along with Dancing Blade, Kateni Momotenshi, Full Edition. Dreamcast Soft Complete Guide features Soul Calibur, Martian Successor Nadeshiko, The Mission, Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team, Cool Borders Burn, Forbidden Pet, Seaman, To North, Photo Memories, and World Neverland Plus. Olarud Kingdom Stories. A Game Index lists numerous Dreamcast titles alphabetically, including Eternal Arcadia, Shenmue, and many more. A Namco Drawing Down double-sided poster supplement is included for Soul Calibur. This page is all about the Dreamcast launch in America and Europe. The US launch date is set for September 9th with a price of $199. Highlighting it as a competitive price for a high-performance console. There's talk about a massive pre-order campaign with over 15,000 stores involved, and pre-orders already exceeding 200,000 units, surpassing even the PlayStation's launch numbers. The article notes price cuts from competitors like Sony and Nintendo in response to the Dreamcast's pricing strategy. In Europe, the Dreamcast is launching on September 23rd, while internally the European version is similar to the Japanese and American versions. With a 3.6K modem, the packaging is different, aiming for a more sophisticated design with blue accents instead of orange. The European launch titles mentioned are Sonic Adventure, Virtua Fighter 3 Team Battle, and Sega Rally 2, among 10 launch titles. Pricing for Europe is also mentioned in local currencies like pounds, marks, francs, and pesetas. The article concludes by stating that Sega is aiming for global domination with the Dreamcast, starting with victories in America and Europe. This page highlights upcoming Dreamcast-related events and news. The main event being advertised is the 37th Amusement Machine Show, showcasing the latest arcade and Dreamcast games. This event, organized by the Japan Amusement Machinery Manufacturers Association and the All Nippon Amusement Park Operators Association, is set to take place at Tokyo Big Sight in September. Dead or Alive 2 is specifically mentioned as a featured game, alongside new titles based on the NAOMI arcade board. Several arcade game companies are listed as exhibitors for the show, including Atlus, SNK, Capcom, and Konami, among others. In other news, there's a report on the voice recording session for Sakura Wars OVA 2, Splendid Blooming Cherry Blossoms. The article mentions that this OVA is set 4 years after the previous installment and will focus on the growth of the characters. Maria Tachibana's voice actress, Ura Takano, is quoted discussing her performance. The OVA is scheduled for release on December 18th. Finally, the page reports on the Sun Music Joysopolis Campaign Girl audition, where winners were selected to be campaign girls for Joysopolis. The winners, including Sayuri Isozumi, 17, and Eriko Imura, 18, received a Dreamcast console and the game Seaman as prizes. A photograph shows the winners with their prizes. There is also a picture of the voice actors from Sakura Wars and a screenshot from Dead or Alive 2 showcasing a fight scene. This page features several highlights. In a campaign for the Neo Geo Pocket Color game SNK vs. Capcom Gekitotsu Card Fighters, pre-orders at stores are being doubled up. Pre-ordering the Dreamcast version of SNK vs. Capcom Gekitotsu Card Fighters will also get you a special support version and a collaboration card. An event announcement celebrates the success of Comic Market 56, mentioning that Dreamcast Magazine was sold out. SoftBank Publishing also made its first appearance there. There's a present section for a digital animation event focused on Carnival Digital Graphics and Animation, to be held on October 31st at Tokyo Big Sight. This event is about exploring the potential of digital animation, with creator seminars, talk shows, and sales of original goods. Another present section announces the revival of the legendary Zoids series, with the Zoids toy line making a comeback on August 28th. Prizes of the Shield Liger model kits are being given away. Finally, another present section is for Digimon Adventures Digivice toy. To celebrate the anime airing on Fuji TV, 5 lucky readers can win a Digivice, the real-life pocket game based on the anime that lets you enjoy battles. An information section details the Vantan character contest results. 4 exceptional character designs have been selected as winning entries in the second character contest, organized by Vantan Design Institute and partnering companies. The next page announces Hello Kitty's 25th anniversary celebrations taking place at Sanrio Puroland, including special events and merchandise from September 11th to November 10th. Alongside this, there's an announcement for the Ultraman Generation book, celebrating the Ultraman series, featuring illustrations and interviews, and is being given away to 3 lucky readers. Additionally, the page promotes a Gaia Japan Women's Pro Wrestling event scheduled for September 15th, with tickets also being given away as presents. The rest of the page details new music releases, including albums from Sweet Sugishio, Days, Koji Kikawa with Hot Rod, Summer's End Sweet Shop, Lakatos 2 Live from Budapest, Slow Rider, Aiko's Flower Fire, and Journey of Foresight by Shakazombe. Each album has a brief description and release information. Finally, there are instructions provided on how to apply for the presents mentioned in the magazine. Dreamcast Magazine explores the visual memory (VM) unit, going beyond its function as a simple memory card. The article examines how players use VMs, from saving game data to exchanging information and raising virtual pets, inspired by the Pocket Station's Dokodemo Issyo. A player questionnaire revealed opinions on VM care and design appeal. The magazine lists VM-compatible games like Godzilla Generations, Sonic Adventure, and Power Stone, showcasing features like monster raising, minigames, and downloadable content. Despite the average owner having 3.27 VMs, players expressed concerns regarding battery life, button issues, sound quality, and screen brightness. The article highlights the VM's original design for play and communication, and the desire for more color variations to aid game data organization, questioning the need for 2 batteries and the overall value despite its 2,500 yen price. Quote, the article explores the dream collaboration between Dreamcast and arcade games, focusing on the visual memory, VM. Sega developers are leveraging the VM to connect home and arcade experiences. Katsuya Nakagawa confirms the collaboration's reality, using Giant Graham as an initial example, allowing wrestler training on Dreamcast and use in arcades. Yuji Naka highlights the VM's communication potential, exemplified by Sonic Adventure. Shigeo Hamada envisions new portable game genres. Jun Taguchi focuses on data exchange, like downloading content. Makoto Osaki discusses global connectivity via the Dreamcast Internet. Games like VF Kids and Daytona USA 2 are also incorporating VM features. The article highlights the VM's use in popular games like Derby Owners Club and maintains an optimistic outlook, suggesting that the full capabilities of the VM are still to be discovered. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Espionage Age (NTS), described as a new genre of simulation game where you command a team of 7 industrial spy agents. It highlights the game's parallel sight screen display, allowing simultaneous viewing of 4 perspectives. The ad mentions a release date of September 23, 1999, and a bonus expansion software called 7th Cross FID is being offered as a present. There is also information about a website shopping page for PC Engine and PCFX games. This page displays the Dreamcast Top 10 software sales rankings. At number 1 is Soul Calibur, a fighting action game. In second place is Professional Baseball Team wo Tsukuru, a baseball simulation title. Third is Shutoku Battle, known internationally as Tokyo Extreme Racer, a racing game. Fourth place is Seaman, a pet simulation game. Air Force Delta, an action shooting game, takes 5th place. The House of the Dead 2, a shooting game, is in 6th. 7th is The King of Fighters, Dream Match 1999, another fighting game. Frame Gride, an action title, is 8th. Giant Graham, Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling 2 and Nippon Budokan, known internationally as Giant Graham 2000, is in 9th. Finally, in 10th place is Dynamite Denka 2, known as Die Hard Arcade, or Dynamite Cop internationally, an action game. The page mentions estimated weekly and cumulative sales figures for each title. This page showcases the Reader's Choice pre-release title expectation ranking top 30 for the Dreamcast. At number 1 is Shenmue, with 652 points, accompanied by a screenshot and text detailing the game's story and heroine, Nozomi Harasaki. Grandia 2 is ranked second with 498 points, featuring an image of gameplay and mentions of VM games. Biohazard Code. Veronica secures third place with 360 points, showing a combat scene and discussing release timing. Further down the list, at number 9, is Super Robot Tyson Alpha, with 244 points. Eternal Arcadia, later known internationally as Skies of Arcadia, is listed at number 31 with 77 points. Other notable games in the top rankings include Cyber Troopers Virtualon Oratorio Tangram, Verpoint 5.4, SNK vs. Carrion. Capcom, Maken X, Evolution 2, D2, Zombie Revenge, Virtua Striker 2 DC, Rent a Hero No. 1, Time Stalkers, Climax Landers, Sunrise Heroes, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Sega Soccer Slam, J-League Pro Soccer Club Create. The ranking provides the game's position, previous rank, title, developer/publisher, and release date information, along with points awarded by readers. The page also includes short descriptions and screenshots for some of the top-ranked titles, generating excitement for these upcoming Dreamcast games. This page features 2 game rankings and a weekly highlight. The first ranking is the Porting Wish Top 20, showcasing games readers hoped would be ported, likely to the Dreamcast. Dead or Alive 2 tops this list, followed by the Shining Force series and Tekken Tag Tournament. Other games in the top spots include Crazy Taxi, Metal Gear Solid, and Nights into Dreams. The second ranking is the Video Game Income Ranking for arcades, where the King of Fighters 99 is in first place. This arcade ranking also features games like Virtua Fighter 3 TB, Tekken Tag Tournament, and Virtua Striker 2 versions. The weekly pickup section focuses on the King of Fighters 99, emphasizing its top position in the arcade charts and its popularity as a summer game.
The page also includes a screenshot from Street Fighter II Third Strike and a section on Giant Graham All Japan Pro Wrestling 2 in Nippon Budokan, discussing wrestler training and tournaments for edited wrestlers.
This document details the Dreamcast software and hardware release schedule, primarily focusing on 1999 and early 2000. September 1999 saw games like Dancing Blade Kate ni Momo Tenshi and Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling 2 Retsuden 4. October featured Shenmue listings and Revive Susei. November brought Suku Kihei Vodum Space Griffin and Speed Devils. December included Hiso Ki Renju Kyoku 3 Perpetual Blue and D no Shokutaku 2.
January 2000 had Hanagumi Taisen Columns 2.
Spring 2000 listed Runecaster, and Summer 2000 included Carrier.
Unspecified release dates had games like Sonic 3D Flicky's Island.
Hardware released in 1999 comprised of Suricon, a zip drive, and mic device. The Dreamcast Reader's Race 31 presents a ranking of Dreamcast games. The Ops table lists the top 20 games, with Soul Calibur at number 1, followed by Sega Rally 2 and Sonic Adventure. The page also features reviews of new and returning titles. Buggy Heat, at rank 46, is praised for its fun gameplay and controls. Dream Passport 2, at rank 5, is recommended as an essential internet tool for the Dreamcast. What's Shenmue? Holds the top spot in its section, lauded for its depth, replayability, and graphics, despite some minor control issues. Soul Calibur remains highly ranked, showing the influence of reader opinions on game trends, and is considered a must-buy title. The Oz All-Star Dreamcast Soft B ranking highlights quality Dreamcast titles outside the top 20. Soul Calibur takes first place with a 9.9042 average, lauded for its gameplay, depth, and mission battle mode, making it a must-play for fighting game fans. Professional baseball team Otsukuro ranks 6th, 9.1304 average. A deep baseball management sim recommended for its engaging gameplay despite its loading times. Forbidden Pet Seaman Gaze Hakase no Kenkyu Shitsu, in 12th, 8.9404 average, is a unique communication game requiring daily interaction with a seaman character, recommended for its unconventional and thought-provoking experience. The list also includes titles ranked from 21st to 50th, spanning various genres and including games like Framegride, Blue Stinger, and Biohazard Code. Veronica. This page highlights new Dreamcast games and peripherals. Kita E, Photo Memories, a visual novel, receives praise for its visuals and features. A reader-voted chart ranks peripherals like the broadband adapter and arcade stick. Reader comments discuss games like Seaman and Dynamite Deca 2. 2 games are featured. Akihabara Denogumi Patapis, a strategy simulation with replay value, and Marionette Handler, an action game with a deep combat system. New Dreamcast users are encouraged to participate in reader races, with Soul Calibur and Seaman recommended as starting points. Readers can enter a prediction race, with Sega Saturn games also eligible.
Finally, a prize draw for Dreamcast accessories is announced, and past winners are listed.
This page is a Dreamcast game review page featuring 2 games. The first game reviewed is Dancing Blade, Reckless Peach Angel, Complete Edition. It's an adventure game with anime-style graphics and is praised for its pick-up-and-play nature, accessible gameplay for anyone, and decent graphics. Reviewers mention the voice acting is good, and the story has branching paths, like in visual novels. It gets an overall score of 6.0 out of 10, with reviewers commenting on the simple gameplay and scenario, but praising the graphics as beautiful. The second game reviewed is New Japan Pro Wrestling, Tukan Retsuden 4.
This pro wrestling simulation game is praised for its deep wrestler roster and create a wrestler mode. Reviewers note the realistic wrestler movements and the ability to simulate real matches. However, some find the controls and timing difficult, and the action game aspects lacking. It receives an overall score of 5.33 out of 10, with reviewers mentioning that it is enjoyable for wrestling fans, but requires some skill to imagine real matches, and suggesting improvements to the gameplay and action elements.
This page is an advertisement for 2 anime series. The top part of the page is promoting Power Stone, highlighting it as a game-based adventure action series. It mentions the release date for LD, video, and DVD as August 25th for the series start, and describes it as a new sensation fighting game adaptation. The advertisement also mentions that it is a TBS series and a battle action. The bottom part advertises Masu Kishin Cybuster as a robot anime that originated from Super Robot Wars. It states that it is broadcast every Monday at 6:30 p.m. on TV Tokyo. This is also being promoted for LD, video, and DVD release starting September 25th and is described as a hot-blooded problem work series. Both advertisements feature characters and logos for their respective anime series. This page is a special feature report on the upcoming simulation RPG Super Robot Wars Alpha from Banpresto, which is planned for release on both Dreamcast and PlayStation. The game was initially announced at the Sega New Challenge Conference 99 in June. The page highlights that this title is intended as a major offering for Dreamcast users. Development is progressing in parallel for both Dreamcast and PlayStation versions, with the Dreamcast version currently ahead in development. To further explain details, the page refers to photos from the PlayStation version and directs readers to look for a report on the Super Robot Wars Fan Appreciation Festival held on August 20th, which included a talk by Banpresto's Teradata producer, suggesting they consult that for more information if needed. The page features several screenshots showcasing the robots and gameplay from Super Robot Wars Alpha. This page focuses on the upcoming game Super Robot Wars Alpha and highlights what to expect. Firstly, it introduces new robots and mecha joining the war, namely Giant Robo and the Macross series, including Super Dimension Fortress Macross and Macross Plus, noting these are series' first appearances, building upon the game Super Robot Wars 64. The page then emphasizes the 3D polygon battle scenes in the Dreamcast version, a major upgrade from the PlayStation version, showcasing detailed and dynamic combat. It explains Super Robot Wars is appealing because it brings together robots from different anime series like Gundam and Mazinger in crossover battles, with strategic gameplay, unit customization, and voice acting, making it an engaging experience. The screenshots presented showcase the 3D battle sequences in action. This page focuses on the Dreamcast game Super Robot Wars Alpha, highlighting its massive scenario and story content, stating it is the largest in the series. The article details how the characters and story are evolving, with more expressive character portraits during dialogues, going beyond just facial expressions, to fully realized character acting and emotion. The game introduces a double-branch system, making the story deeper and more branching than before, meaning player choices will significantly impact the narrative and even character parameters influencing story progression. A flowchart shows how the scenario branches through player choices and events, indicating that a single playthrough won't reveal the entire story, and multiple plays are encouraged to see all content and characters. The article suggests that this new system makes the game more engaging and replayable with deeper storylines. Screenshots show in-game dialogue examples and the scenario branching flowchart itself, with mentions of Neon Genesis Evangelion in dialogue, showcasing the crossover nature of the game. This page is focused on Super Robot Wars Alpha, highlighting the new system elements in the game's battle mechanics. A key update is the change to a quarter-view map for battles, moving away from the traditional 2D top-down perspective. This new 3D viewpoint introduces terrain effects, where units on higher ground have an advantage in accuracy. Another improvement is the option to toggle battle animations on or off, catering to players who want to shorten playtime. There's a new defense attack command, which allows units to counterattack while defending, though both attack and defense power are slightly reduced when using it. The game also features a dramatic voice event system, carrying over from the Saturn version of Super Robot Wars F, which adds voice acting to key event scenes. The intermission phase has been enhanced as well, particularly weapon modification, where changes to attack power, funds needed, and hit rate are now reflected after upgrades. The page mentions that weapon modifications can lead to powerful weapons like the Discutter Blade of Chaos and Violence, which was also featured in Masu Kishin.
Super Robot Wars Alpha for Dreamcast boasts a diverse roster of mecha from various series, not just Macross and Giant Robo, and features original mecha designs. The game includes iconic robots like Combattler V, Voltes V, Gundams, Evangelion Unito 1 and many more. With 31 total works represented, the game promises powerful weapons and exciting gameplay. Participating series are categorized by media type, TV, movie, OVA, and original, and span a wide range of influential anime, manga, and original works, including popular titles like Mobile Suit Gundam, Evangelion, and Macross.
The Super Robot Wars Alpha Big Thanksgiving Festival celebrated the upcoming Super Robot Wars Alpha game. Producer Takanobu Teradita discussed the game's development, emphasizing its fresh approach and return to the series' roots. Alpha boasts enhanced battle animations, featuring iconic units like Valkyrie and Voltes Vith, with full animation across all screens and an updated battle system. The game promises over 100 scenarios and significant playtime, alongside a branching narrative allowing for multiple playthroughs. The event featured stage presentations, a quiz, live music performances, and game demos. Merchandise was also available. Terada confirmed the inclusion of original characters, notably Cybuster, and integrated elements from Super Robot Wars F, including a unified worldview incorporating Mazinkaiser and SRX. The event showcased the anticipation surrounding this significant entry in the Super Robot Wars franchise. This page is a Dreamcast special report from Banpresto introducing their new title, Superhero Chronicles. It's described as the first installment in a series where heroes from Toei Tokusatsu productions like Kamen Rider, Goranger, and Kikaider cross boundaries and gather together. The page highlights the game's system and some of the playable heroes. A section titled Work Explanation focuses on Robot Detective, detailing the story of Robot Detective K, a robot deployed to combat the evil syndicate Bader, who uses robots to commit crimes. It mentions K's dual nature, being a kind robot usually, but transforming into battle mode when fighting Bader's robots. The broadcast year of the Robot Detective series is stated as 1973. Screenshots show in-game graphics with Chiba-style characters, including Kamen Rider 1, Akaranger, Henshin Ninja Arashi, and Robot Detective K.
Gameplay screenshots display a user interface with health bars and character portraits, suggesting action-adventure gameplay. The game is announced for Spring 2000 release as an action-adventure title, with the price yet to be determined. This page is showcasing the Superhero Chronicles game, highlighting the impressive roster of heroes players can expect. It seems to be focusing on characters from classic Japanese tokusatsu shows. The page specifically details Kamen Rider, describing him as a national hero transformed by the Shocker organization using a belt, and mentions his famous transformation pose and series duration from 1971 to 1973. It also introduces Space Iron Man Kyodane, detailing their origin story involving robot engineers and alien invasion, plus their transformations. Kikaider 01 is also featured, explaining his 19,741,975 series run and his weakness to sunlight, as well as his signature move, Zero Wound Driver. A list of playable characters is shown, including various Kamen Riders such as V3, X, Amazon, Stronger, Super 1, Black RX, ZX, and even lesser-known heroes such as Android Kikaider, Kikaider 01, and teams like Secret Squadron Goranger and JAKQ Dengakitai. Robot Detective, Henshin Ninja Arashi, Space Iron Man Kyodane, Inazuman, and Inazuman F are also listed, showing a very wide range of classic tokusatsu heroes are included in this game. The next page is a preview of a Dreamcast action-adventure game designed to feel like watching a 30-minute TV show episode. The game is structured around short missions, each lasting about 30 minutes, making it easy to pick up and play. There are over 100 missions available, and you can tackle them one at a time. In each mission, you control a hero and lead a team of up to 5 members to fight against an evil organization. You control the leader hero,
while other team members fight automatically. The game mechanics are described as starting with an incident occurrence, leading to victory condition achievement, and incident resolution. Enemies include soldiers and powerful monsters. A key feature highlighted is that heroes are strong from the beginning, removing the need for level grinding. Instead of leveling up, power-ups are obtained through items found during the missions. The page shows screenshots of the game in action and introduces enemy characters like Phantom Soldier and Destron Soldier, as well as a monster character. The game aims for a balance of strategy and easy playability, perfect for short gaming sessions.
This page is about the Dreamcast game Tokusatsu Adventure Action Superhero Chronicles, which is a game where you can create teams of up to 5 heroes from various Tokusatsu series. The article highlights the game's short scenario format, allowing for diverse team combinations and events. It mentions that certain hero combinations might trigger special dialogue scenes or events. One section focuses on team formation, specifically referencing Goringer as an example of a 5-person team. Another section discusses rival characters, using Kamen Rider vs. Spider-Man as an illustration, hinting at scenarios where heroes encounter their rivals. The page also emphasizes the special moves in the game, mentioning that they are visually enhanced with movie-like animations. There's a monster guessing quiz section, featuring images of characters from different Tokusatsu series, including Hyder and Shadow Moon from the Kikaider series, challenging readers to identify them. Overall, the page promotes the game's features, like team building, scenario variety, rival encounters, and visually impressive special moves. It showcases screenshots of gameplay and character models, creating excitement for this Tokusatsu crossover title. This page is a preview of a Dreamcast action game called Superhero, a special effects adventure action title in development. The interview discusses the challenges of selecting which heroes and villains to include, highlighting that it's a difficult choice for the team. The developers from Banpresto and General Entertainment are interviewed, expressing their passion for Tokusatsu heroes from their childhood and their desire to bring that experience to the Dreamcast. They mention using 3D models and aiming for high visual quality, drawing inspiration from classic Tokusatsu TV shows in terms of scenario and presentation. They are working hard to collect reference materials for even minor characters and are dedicated to recreating the authentic Tokusatsu feel in the game. The page also introduces Yamada Toshihiko from Banpresto and Funada Akira from General Entertainment, listing their favorite heroes like Kikaider, Kikaider 01, and Kyodyne respectively. Finally, there's a monster quiz at the bottom of the page. Superhero Retsuden for the Dreamcast is designed as an accessible Tokusatsu adventure game. Aiming for short play sessions and simple controls, the developers focused on quick, action-packed stages with punch and kick combat. The game features a gathering of heroes from different eras, allowing players to build parties of up to 5, with a story emphasizing unexpected encounters. Gameplay prioritizes ease of use, with balanced heroes and a low difficulty curve. While the core experience is designed to be accessible, there will be challenges for veteran players. The developers are focusing on the essence of heroism, aiming for a positive and enjoyable experience for both children and adults. They are showcasing refined CG models and an opening movie, and plan to use arranged versions of each hero's theme song. A playable demo is planned for the Tokyo Game Show. The team hopes to create a unique and lasting series. This page is a promotional preview for the Dreamcast game Eternal Arcadia, which was later released internationally as Skies of Arcadia. The page features artwork showcasing 3 characters from the game. The top text is a tagline that translates to, "Aiming for beyond the endless dream," while the bottom text reads, "With infinite curiosity in their hearts and a shake of courage." These phrases seem to highlight the adventurous spirit and themes of the game. The prominent title, Eternal Arcadia in green, is displayed at the bottom of the page, along with the copyright information for Sega in 1999. This page is a special report on the upcoming Dreamcast RPG, Eternal Arcadia, known internationally as Skies of Arcadia. It highlights the game as a new title and a special report feature within the magazine. The game is listed as a Sega Dreamcast RPG, with an undetermined release date, price, and compatible peripherals, and is for one player only. The text describes the game's premise of a boy setting sail on his ship in a world of floating islands in the sky, embarking on a grand adventure. Screenshots showcase various aspects of the game, including battles, towns, and character interactions. The page also indicates sections on world and battle, on pages 36 and 38 respectively, and an interview with producer Rieko Kodama and planner Shuntaro Tanaka on page 40.
The next page is about the game Eternal Arcadia, known as Skies of Arcadia in the West. It introduces the world of the game, highlighting the concept of a vast sky filled with floating islands. The text explains that in this world, the sky is the main stage, and people navigate it using airships. It mentions that maps do not exist for the entire sky, and that exploration is a key theme as people venture into uncharted territories. The page features a character profile for Violace, the protagonist, describing him as adventurous and curious, setting out to explore the unknown skies. It also mentions his preferred weapon, the twin cutlasses, and his upbringing with the Dine family. Screenshots depict the game world, showing airships sailing through the sky and islands with settlements. The page emphasizes the sense of adventure and wonder in exploring this unique world. This page is about the game Eternal Arcadia, known internationally as Skies of Arcadia. It introduces two characters, Aika and Fina, who are both sky pirates. Aika is described as a spirited girl who is childhood friends with Violace and is skilled with a boomerang and in combat. Fina is a mysterious girl from a distant unknown world who has joined the Blue Rogues Sky Pirate group. The page details the world setting, where airships are the main mode of transport, and sky pirates exist as large, free groups that operate from floating islands. It mentions two types of sky pirates: black sky pirates, who are indiscriminate and plundering everything, and the blue sky pirates, who are fighting against military nations and taking on jobs to earn treasures, essentially acting as righteous pirates. The page highlights the theme of sky pirates and the battle for freedom. This page showcases a feature on Eternal Arcadia, which was released internationally as Skies of Arcadia. The article emphasizes the crucial role of battles within the RPG genre, and in this game specifically, highlighting that adventure and combat are inseparable elements. It describes the setting as an era of exploration in an uncharted world, where the protagonist Violace and his companions face numerous dangers. The text alludes to naval battles against powerful enemy fleets and encounters with strange creatures in the vast skies. Screenshots illustrate various battle scenarios, providing a visual glimpse into the game's combat system. The article seems to ponder if the fighting techniques used against sky pirates will be effective against these bizarre monsters encountered in the game. It mentions the protagonist's bold declaration about his ship, indicating a strong sense of ownership and determination. The article suggests that battles against monsters in floating islands filled with treasure will be part of the adventurous experience. This page showcases Eternal Arcadia, which was released internationally as Skies of Arcadia. It details the battle style of Vice, emphasizing his use of cutlasses in combat. The article mentions that Vice's attacks are not limited to just slashing with the cutlasses. He also uses techniques that launch shockwaves, described as special moves. The page also questions whether the game will incorporate positioning in battles when facing multiple enemies. The page also introduces Aika, another character who uses a large boomerang in combat. Her attacks are described as unconventional, where she jumps into enemies while still holding the boomerang and slashes with its blade. It's suggested she might also throw the boomerang, and the text playfully wonders if this aggressive style reflects her personality. Lastly, the page touches on magic, or techniques in the game. It questions whether magic exists in the world of Eternal Arcadia, noting that advanced ancient civilizations may have techniques that appear magical. It suggests that these visual effects shown might be battle techniques, and the screenshots show visual effects associated with these abilities, like light gathering in Aika's hands and explosions in a grid pattern. This page features an interview with producer Rieko Kodama and planner Taro Tanaka discussing the Dreamcast RPG Eternal Arcadia, which is known internationally as Skies of Arcadia. The interview focuses on the game's concept, inspired by childhood dreams of adventure and seeing beyond the clouds. The core idea is set in the sky and emphasizes exploration, adventure, and discovery, reminiscent of Treasure Island and Robinson Crusoe. The developers wanted to capture the thrill of sailing the skies in a 3D world and the excitement of finding treasure and exploring uncharted territories. Screenshots showcase the game's world and flying ships, highlighting the vastness of the sky setting and the sense of adventure the developers are aiming for. The interview touches upon the game's scenario and the desire to evoke a sense of wonder and the unknown, similar to the mysteries and adventures found in classic stories and the Age of Exploration. This page covers Eternal Arcadia, known internationally as Skies of Arcadia. It's an interview with developers Tanaka and Kodama, who are discussing the game's setting, which is entirely in the sky, and how they want to create a sense of adventure and discovery. They emphasize making an emotionally resonant and engaging RPG experience for players, focusing on the story and core RPG mechanics to make it enjoyable and user-friendly. The battle system is also a key focus for them. Their aim is to create a bright, fun, and satisfying RPG overall, and the team is passionate about making it a great title, with particular attention to scenario, battles, and map design. They are looking forward to player feedback when the game is released. This page is a promotional page for the Dreamcast game Rent a Hero No. 1. The page highlights the return of Rent a Hero, proclaiming, "He is back," in large text. It mentions that this Dreamcast installment is the realization of Dream Magazine readers' dreams after about 9 months of anticipation. It's described as a B-grade action RPG, like the Mega Drive version, now revived for Dreamcast. The page boasts that the previous magazine's Rent a Hero Returns corner promised a definitive purchase recommendation, and now it has arrived. The game is advertised by Sega and is a 3D action RPG where only one player can play. The release date and price are yet to be determined. A special report section indicates the game is 2% complete. The page is filled with cartoon drawings and Japanese text expressing excitement and anticipation for the game's release. A screenshot in the top right corner appears to show gameplay from the Spike-Out fighting game, potentially as a related point of interest within the magazine. This page is dedicated to Rent a Hero No. 1 and celebrates the decision to release a Dreamcast version of the game. It's labeled as Rent a Hero No. 1. The page highlights that this version is coming to Dreamcast from the Mega Drive version and asks readers to anticipate it. Screenshots compare the Mega Drive and Dreamcast versions, showcasing in-game menus with options like Talk, Move, Check, and Item in both versions. The Dreamcast version's menu options are Beep and Consult. The text below the screenshots mentions that, "If you get lost, please consult," and that the consultation fee is 1,500 yen. The page also features comments from developers and endorsements from celebrities, with handwritten notes and drawings scattered around. The tagline, "This is not Dream, this is real," emphasizes the transition to the Dreamcast platform. There's also a mention of an official fan page for the game. This page is focused on the game Rent a Hero, clarifying what the Rent a Hero is about, explaining it is about renting combat armor from Sega to become a hero. The article details how Sega rents out combat armor that enhances human abilities, allowing ordinary people to become heroes for hire, resolving incidents, and getting paid for their efforts. The page highlights cameos of Rent a Hero in other games, mentioning that in the arcade game Virtua Fighter 2, Rent a Hero posters can be seen in the background. For the Saturn game Fighters Mega Mix, Rent a Hero is featured as a playable character. The Mega Drive version of Rent a Hero is described as a top-down view RPG, emphasizing its story-driven gameplay and action elements, noting the battle's transition into fighting action scenes. A screenshot shows a Mega Drive battle scene to illustrate this action style. This page is about Rent a Hero No. 1, announcing its release on the Dreamcast. It details the game's unique rental system where players have to pay to use hero equipment. The system is shown as a cycle. Players take on job requests, receive mission details, can do part-time jobs for extra income, get rewards upon mission completion, and, importantly, must pay rental fees for the hero armor. The page also highlights hero fatigue and the armor's battery system as gameplay elements. Heroes get tired and need energy drinks, like Daijo V, Majinda Z, and Nondel Royal Jelly, which can be bought to restore their condition. If the armor seems to malfunction, it's likely due to battery depletion, which can be solved by buying new batteries at convenience stores. The prices of energy drinks and different types of batteries are also listed. The page shows screenshots of the game depicting the rental process, shop interactions, and gameplay situations. This page showcases the Dreamcast game Rent a Hero, highlighting 2 scenarios. A humorous, happy scenario called Kentkun's Love Letter Delivery, where the Rent a Hero is asked by a child to deliver a love letter to his neighbor, who turns out to be the protagonist's sister, and a more serious scenario titled Children Drowning in the River, Urgent Rent a Hero, where the hero must rescue children from a river and even encounters another Rent a Hero as a rival. The page also briefly touches upon the Mega Drive version of Rent a Hero, focusing on its package and manual, which are notable for featuring large goggles that can be cut out and used as a mask, according to the manual's design. The page presents screenshots from both scenarios of the Dreamcast game and images of the Mega Drive game's packaging and manual. The upcoming Dreamcast release of Rent a Hero No. 1 is generating excitement with rumors and new features. Rumors suggest a combat system akin to Spike-Out, emphasizing simple, one-button controls with deep action in a 3D city environment, and hinting at cooperative play. The development team is rumored to be largely the same as the acclaimed Mega Drive version, including the original scenario writer, promising a high-quality title. The Dreamcast version will leverage the console's capabilities, with the VM, Visual Memory Unit, displaying character Mew to introduce jobs and minigames. A potential modem feature could enable online distribution of hero jobs, expanding gameplay with online events and competitions. Screenshots showcase the 3D graphics and character models, including a prototype of Rent a Hero No. 1.
This page announces the Dreamcast development team for Rent a Hero, highlighting it as a fulfillment of Dreamcast Magazine readers' dreams. Key team members are introduced with comments, including executive producer Okaseko Kenji, director and scenario writer Tomkawa Tombo, modeler Kojima Mika, graphics artist Izaki Kazuhiro, programmer Kakuya Tetsuya, DC producer Ishizuka Noriko, and CS publicity manager Takazaki. The team comprises talent from Sega AM4, known for arcade hits like Daytona USA, Scud Race, and Spike-Out, as well as the Virtua Fighter series. Developers express their enthusiasm for bringing Rent a Hero to the Dreamcast, building on the legacy of the Mega Drive original. This page announces the Dreamcast release of Rental Hero Returns, and features manga artist Shibata Ami as the first guest for a special corner called From Famous People's Yell. Shibata Ami, known for works like Nande Shonen Papuakun and Jungle Shonen Jan, and whose work Jibakun is becoming an anime, expresses her excitement for the Dreamcast version of Rental Hero Returns. She mentions hearing about the Sega-ness of the Mega Drive version from Weekly Famitsu, and hopes the Dreamcast version will capture the same spirit. The page includes cartoon illustrations related to Rental Hero, one showing a character with borrowed items and another of a superhero. A screenshot from Rental Hero Returns gameplay is also featured. The page details the Rental Hero Returns official corner, which is being launched in the magazine. Planned content includes a development love diary with staff updates and fan interactions, a corny illustration corner judged by developers, a Senryu and sarcastic sayings dojo, and other fun surprises. They are also recruiting fans who love Rental Hero and outlining a member's oath, which includes always considering new games, Rental Hero No. 1, and actively promoting the game. Finally, contact information is provided for the magazine's Rental Hero Returns section. This page is a preview for Densha de Go 2 Kusokuhen 3000 Bandai for the Dreamcast, the sequel to the popular train driving simulation game. The game boasts improved graphics that aim to surpass the arcade version, and promises a realistic train driving experience where players must adhere to timetables and stop at designated positions. The preview highlights that the game will feature 8 train lines, and for this initial announcement they are introducing 3. The Keihin Tohoku line, the Hoku Hoku line, and the Akita Shinkansen Komachi. Screenshots showcase the gameplay interface and in-game graphics, emphasizing the detailed train models and environments. Text mentions the game is about 40% complete and is aiming for a Dreamcast release, with planned support for the Dreamcast's dedicated train controller, the Mascon. Densha de Go 2 Kusokuhen 3000 Bandai is coming to the Dreamcast, offering arcade-quality train simulation. The game features 3 lines: the Keihin Tohoku line, Shinagawa to Ueno, with emphasis on high-speed sections and Yokohama sections; the Hoku Hoku line, Naiuetsu to Muikamachi, beginner-friendly with express train options and a 140 km per hour top speed; and the Akita Shinkansen, Akita to Morioka, with weather effects and a 130 km per hour top speed. Developers aim for high-quality graphics and realistic scenery to recreate the train driving experience, including all arcade routes. Specialized controllers, including standard and one-handle types, are planned for release alongside the game to enhance gameplay immersion. This page is a special report previewing the Dreamcast game Maken X from Atlas, scheduled for release in November 1999, at a price of 6,800 yen. It is described as an adventure game, where you play as a Maken, a possessed sword that brainjacks people. The preview highlights the game's dark world setting, mysterious organizations, and branching story system. It mentions new stages and boss battle scenes being shown, encouraging players to re-examine the game's branching storyline. The page details the game's setting as being 5 minutes into the future, where environmental pollution and political instability have led to the decline of Western power, with China emerging as a dominant force.
Amidst this backdrop, humanity is losing its vitality.
The story involves research into the spiritual world, image, and the material world. A girl named Ki is introduced who wields the Maken, born from this research. The player is the Maken itself, meaning the gameplay progresses from the perspective of whoever the Maken brainjacks. The player's choices will determine the outcome of the story. The page also includes screenshots showcasing in-game scenes and character models.
This page is all about the upcoming game Maken X, which is being heavily promoted with new screenshots and a pre-commercial. The article highlights the game's action scenes and unique branching story system, which changes based on player choices. The Brainjack system is introduced as a key feature, allowing players to take over enemies and use their abilities, even changing their own form. The pre-commercial for Maken X is being released and is using the game's 3D sound system. To experience it correctly, viewers are advised to sit in front of their stereo TV for the best sound experience. The pre-CM is airing on TV during 2 shows in September.
Sore Yuke, Space Battleship Yamamoto Yoko on TV Tokyo, and Yoshimoto Super Combination on TV Osaka. The page includes several images, including diagrams for setting up stereo sound, gameplay screenshots, a character image, the Maken X logo, a tagline stating "All humans become the sword's nourishment," and finally the Atlas logo as the publisher. The game is scheduled for release in November 1999.
The next page is a preview for the Dreamcast game, focusing on branching scenarios in Makengai Demon Sword. The game is set in the Kanazawa General Academy Research Institute, where a demon sword is being created. The story involves manipulating images and demon swords. An incident occurs at the Research Institute, and the protagonist, Kei, witnesses the death of Fei Chao, a seal swordsman who was also her tutor. The preview highlights a branching scenario system based on brainjacking. If you brainjack the pilot of a transport aircraft, the story branches to Hong Kong, with the possibility of meeting Fei Chan in Hong Kong. If you do not brainjack the pilot, the plane crash lands in India, leading to a different stage and scenario, though the objective in India is still unclear. The page also introduces Li Fei Chao, an apprentice seal swordsman, and Fei Chao's sister. She is described as being angry with Ki and taking a challenging attitude towards her. The preview mentions that different stages will branch from these scenarios, suggesting a dynamic and replayable narrative experience. This page focuses on the game Kenju X, which was released internationally as Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage. It highlights the improved visuals and effects compared to previously revealed action scenes, noting the enhanced impact of strikes and weapon effects. The game has also been refined with user-friendly elements, like gauges and lock-on focus marks. A new character is introduced, a Mitsurugi sword fighter, who uses rollerblades and tonfa sticks in combat, and is said to be very fast. The page also reveals that the first boss players will encounter is named Andre Daisuke.
Screenshots showcase in-game action and character models.
The next page delves into the Hong Kong stage of a Dreamcast game, where all humans become servants of the sword. This stage is set in Hong Kong and involves infiltrating a research lab to meet a sword master named Li Feishan Li, guided by a pilot. A key feature highlighted is the demon sword and its transformation through a mechanic called Brainjack. The sword's appearance changes drastically after using Brainjack, taking on forms resembling a police baton, suggesting it adapts based on the opponent's abilities. The hand wielding the sword in the screenshots is identified as belonging to the pilot, not Kei, implying a character switch or transformation. The page also touches upon enhanced visual effects, such as sword trails and impact flashes, adding to the action's intensity. It mentions recovery items appearing when defeating enemies, but these are not for health, instead offering different effects to the demon sword. These recovery items are located in fixed positions within the map. Furthermore, the page introduces pilot enemies called Linkerdon, who are encountered in dimly lit environments. These enemies use projectile attacks from a distance, but switch to close-range combat if approached, showcasing varied combat styles. Finally, there's a section focusing on Fei Shan,
emphasizing her role in the story after meeting her in Hong Kong.
Dialogue suggests a tense relationship with the protagonist Kei, possibly leading to cooperative or confrontational scenarios, impacting the game's progression towards India. The next page showcases the Taj Mahal stage for the game Maken Ken X. The article describes the Taj Mahal stage as a beautiful yet brutal setting, based on the Indian Taj Mahal, built by a Maharaja for his wife. It mentions that there are currently 2 routes to reach this stage, one involving flying and another by brainjacking in Hong Kong, but other paths might exist. New enemies are expected in this stage. Introducing the new character for the Taj Mahal stage boss, Sharjah, a 50-year-old Indian singer and national star. Despite his age, he possesses great power and charisma. His true intentions remain unclear, but he seems to have lost his purpose in life. Also highlighted is a new enemy character, the Shiva Soldier, a golden mechanical being that constantly emits low-pitched sounds, possessing a large right-hand weapon, suggesting a high attack power. It is questioned whether Sharjah controls these Shiva soldiers, or if something else is behind them. The page emphasizes the beautiful stage design, with detailed reliefs and floor patterns, and unique enemy characters that differ from previous encounters, promising a challenging experience. Screenshots display the Taj Mahal stage and combat scenes with both Sharjah and the Shiva soldier enemies. This page features a preview for Shenmue Chapter 1 Yokosuka. It's highlighted as the #1 anticipated Dreamcast software. The page centers around the character Nozomi Harasaki, described as a Madonna of rumors, who finally appears. The page details Shenmue Chapter 1 Yokosuka, with a release date of October 28th, priced at 6,800 yen for 3 discs, and published by Sega and Free, Full Reactive Eyes Entertainment. It also mentions Shenmue 2, tentative title, also from Sega and Free, Full Reactive Eyes Entertainment, but with an unannounced release date and price. The text describes Nozomi Harasaki as a rumored girl who has been hinted at in Dorimaga for some time. She is positioned as a Madonna-like figure in the Shenmue narrative, and her charm is being thoroughly introduced. The page includes screenshots of Nozomi in-game in various scenes. This page focuses on Shenmue, highlighting the character Nozomi Harasaki. The headline describes her as a Madonna-like figure at school and an overseas returnee, emphasizing her close relationship with the main character. The page details Nozomi's profile: 18 years old, 164 centimeters tall, and 48 kilograms. She's a classmate of Ryo, described as a friendly girl who lived overseas in Canada and is bilingual in English and French. She lives with her grandmother, Toki, who runs the Aida flower shop and helps out at the store, even being the signboard girl. She is portrayed as having a strong sense of justice and a frank personality, understanding Ryo's bluntness. Screenshots show in-game scenes, focusing on a shocking last scene from the trial version of Shenmue, released on August 5th for 3 weeks. It shows Ryo chasing Yuan through Dobuita Street, entering a game center, and encountering Yuan. Captions mention the impressive facial expressions and the 3D scanning technology used to create realistic character models, even down to the wrinkles. The text describes the scene as being like memories in sepia, with characters turning around as Ryo murmurs, "Shenmue?" It suggests a dreamlike quality to the encounter and the characters' reactions. The final text panel discusses how this scene allows players to experience the Shenmue software in development, potentially referring to a demo disc. It concludes with the phrase, "dream or reality," hinting at the immersive and perhaps surreal nature of the game experience. This Dreamcast Magazine preview highlights WARP's upcoming game, D2, an action RPG, releasing December 23rd. The article emphasizes D2's appeal, focusing on its gameplay, addictive hunting, and thematic story. Gameplay involves exploring a 3D world, solving mysteries, and utilizing elements like snowmobiles and hunting. The experience progresses through cinematic openings, event scenes, free exploration, and combat. Hunting is described as immersive, and item searching is a fun aspect. The story, hinted at by Eno, involves themes of space, Earth, and humans, promising a grand-scale fiction/fantasy experience aimed at a deeper player connection. Screenshots showcase diverse gameplay, including hunting, combat, snowmobile navigation, and item interactions. D2 is presented as a unique action RPG with a distinct atmosphere and thematic elements. D's Dining Table 2 answers 6 questions about the game D2. There will be no Dreamcast gun support due to limitations. Network compatibility is undecided, with a worm website homepage considered for information exchange. The story begins with a hijacked plane crashing in Canada on Christmas Day 2000, leaving survivors and a mysterious presence. Laura wakes up in a cabin, and a hijacker transforms into a monster. Minigames are being considered, but nothing is confirmed. The estimated playtime is around 20 hours, including 3 hours of event scenes. D2 is not primarily a movie-based game, with movies planned for the opening and ending, and event scenes rendered in real time. Red or Green is a Dreamcast game centered on Laura Parton, a plane crash survivor with amnesia. Alongside Janie Raines, Parker Jackson, David Brenner, and Kimberly Fox, Laura confronts a mysterious phenomenon called Saku, where humans transform into plant-like monsters with green blood. The core mystery revolves around the cause of Saku, the origins of the monsters, and why Laura was on the plane. Some transformed individuals retain human consciousness, adding complexity to combat. The story is separate from Di no Shokutaku and focuses on Laura's journey, her relationships with her parents, and the significance of a compact her mother gave her. The game will explore Laura's past and the truth behind the plane crash. This page is about the game D2. It explains that time and weather in the game change as the story progresses, impacting enemy appearances and visibility, with morning, evening, and nighttime cycles, and weather conditions ranging from clear, cloudy, to snowy. Movement is explained, stating that you can freely walk in fields in a third-person view, but inside buildings you move on fixed lines in first person, with dungeons using a mix of both. Saving is done via the sub-menu in buildings like cabins, with no item needed and no save limits. Hunting is detailed, explaining that you use a special hunting rifle found early in the game, not combat weapons, and this is only done in fields. The rifle has a scope and you get one shot, or the animal runs away. Hunted animals provide meat, which can be cooked and is a valuable item to recover HP. Huntable animals include caribou, rabbits, moose, and grouse in the fields, which behave independently and can run away, but dungeon bats cannot be hunted. D2's battle system, detailed in a Q&A format, features 5 weapon types, each with unique attributes. Enemy encounters depend on environment, time, and weather, with tougher foes appearing in challenging conditions. The game prioritizes balanced gameplay over easy difficulty settings, making D2 accessible to beginners, while still offering depth for skilled players through character leveling and control mastery. Defense relies on evasion and skills rather than armor. Item capacity is limited, potentially capped at 100. Players can rotate the camera for a better view of the battlefield and switch weapons mid-battle, at the risk of enemy attacks. When Laura's HP reaches 0, she respawns at the last visited building, with restored HP, without reloading save data. The battle interface includes HP and danger level indicators. This page details D2 for the Dreamcast, focusing on enemies, gameplay, and release information. Enemies, all based on former humans, are categorized into 7 basic types with variations, including human, one-eyed, bird, and four-legged types. Bosses like Larry Devereaux, Catherine Howes, and Bob Raines are described as visually impressive and challenging. Gameplay involves Laura leveling up, increasing HP, and skills that affect combat, improving weapon handling and damage. Recovery is achieved through resting and using items. Encounter demos are short cutscenes before battles to enhance the cinematic experience and hide loading times. The soundtrack will feature orchestral and techno music, including piano versions of popular themes. The release of Sketches 2 is set for October 20th. The game's release was delayed to December 23rd due to development issues, and Warp apologized for the delay, promising a high-quality game. A Christmas event is planned for December 25th, limited to 7,000 attendees. This page is a Dreamcast special report focusing on the upcoming battle RPG, Sunrise Ayutan. The article reveals new game screens and details about the game's systems, emphasizing the variety of FT, presumably flying trooper, units. The page highlights 3 key gameplay aspects through screenshots. The battle screen section shows a menu for checking items and pilot belongings, featuring a list of mecha units from various anime series such as Gao Gar, Gundam Wing, and Armored Trooper Votoms, including units like W Gundam Zero, Gundam Heavy Arms Custom, Gundam Death Scythe Hell, Ultron Gundam, Scope Dog, and Blue Tick Dog. This screen suggests item management and pilot customization. The Formation of Mounted Troops section displays a unit organization screen, indicating players can form and manage multiple squads of robots. The Save Screen section shows that the game is structured episodically, similar to a TV anime, with episode titles and numbers appearing in save file names. Developed by Sunrise Interactive, Sunrise Ayutan was scheduled for release in Japan in December 1999 as a 2-player battle RPG. Sunrise Ayutan is a tactical RPG showcasing robots from various Sunrise anime. The battle system incorporates strategic unit deployment based on terrain and enemy compatibility. Battles feature color-coded parameter displays for attack, defense, and energy, alongside large HP/EN gauges. Players can freely adjust unit composition even after formation. Gameplay involves robot attacks and mothership support, with victory conditions potentially tied to mothership destruction. Attack squads can be formed by adding units, consuming energy, and boosting attack power. Counterattack phases allow special attacks and item usage, requiring energy. Items are consumables that restore robot parameters, and actions deplete the color bar gauges. Special attacks are available, likely with performance attributes affecting their execution. This page is a feature on the FT series variations from the game Cyber Troopers Virtual Alon Oratorio Tangram. It discusses the concept of integrating technology from various Sunrise anime works into the Virtual Alon mecha designs. The page highlights the Flying Trooper FT series, specifically mentioning the FT series Test Type 7 Machine Flying Trooper ZX, FT-ZX07, and the Impulse 7. It explains that the FT series evolved from the ground-based GT series and gained flight capability. The Impulse 7 is described as the basis for numerous FT variations, developed due to the cloud-covered planet Claudia, the game's setting. The clouds caused cloud stream interference, making atmospheric flight difficult. The Impulse 7's cloud system overcomes this, enabling aerial combat and movement. The bottom section showcases several FT series variations visually, categorized by characteristics like speed, combat ability, special combat, aerial combat, land combat, and mass production types. This section emphasizes the diversity of FT variations derived from the base FT model by incorporating different technologies. This page showcases two mobile suit variations from the FT series, part of the Sunrise hero story. First up is the Flying Trooper 2, designated XFT2 and known as the Cloud Saber. It's described as an air combat specialist and transformable unit. The pilot is Kanji Akatsuki, who is introduced as the protagonist of Armored Century G-Breaker, and this publication is said to be the first time his story in the Sunrise hero story is revealed. The Cloud Saber is equipped with CS rifles, CS mega launchers, and wrist Vulcans, and is known for its exceptional speed. The second mobile suit is the Flying Trooper ZX, designated FTZX07 and called Guardial. This one is armor-enhanced and designed for general-purpose use. While not explicitly stated to be piloted by Amuro Ray, the page mentions Amuro Ray and mobile suits in relation to it, suggesting an inspiration or conceptual link to Gundam designs. The Guardial is armed with CS rifles, chest and wrist Vulcans, and a beam saber. It's noted for its versatility and robust combat capabilities, being the largest mobile suit in the FT series at 18 meters tall. Both of these units are highlighted for their roles in various battle situations as reliable machines within the Sunrise hero story. This page introduces two mecha units from the FT series. First, FT Series 3. Flying Trooper Winted is described as an armor-enhanced, variable specialization weapon type. It is presented as fulfilling the need for large, firepower enhancements, similar to the FTS model. It seems to be related to the world of Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, and is described as being connected to the Wing Gundam Zero. Its weaponry includes a double beam rifle, CS fire, and airflow, all designed for flight combat. Next, FT Series 4. High Mobility Aerial Combat Fighting Enhanced Type Flying Trooper Galstorm is showcased. This unit is inspired by Aura Battler concepts from Aura Battler Dunbine, incorporating technology from machines unlike typical FT units to achieve extreme spatial mobility. While it may sacrifice high-speed flight, it excels in aerial combat with high maneuverability, stealth, and close-quarters combat capabilities. Its weapons are a saber, shoulder Vulcan X2, and slash claw. The characters mentioned are Sho Zama and Hiro Yui in relation to pilot or concept origins. Two new mecha variations, inspired by Armored Trooper Galleon and Armored Trooper Votoms, are introduced. The Air Cavalier XFTB-02, piloted by Geordi, is a close combat land unit specializing in sword fighting with its double-blade whipster. It's a flying trooper flare and draws heavily from Galleon's design, representing advanced ancient technology. The Desgard XFTA-02, piloted by Kiriko Kuvi, is designed for urban combat as a flying trooper assault. It prioritizes compact size and high combat ability, utilizing a solid bullet assault rifle, missile launcher, and other close-range weapons. It lacks flight, focusing on urban control and stealth. The article also hints at future FT series variations drawing from other anime worlds, mentioning Gao Gaigar and Zambot 3 as potential influences from Sunrise series. This page is an advertisement for a media creator school, promoting itself as the strongest game school with a history of achievement. It is offering a free one-day trial entry and free information booklets by mail. The school provides courses in various game development disciplines such as CG design, game design, character design, scenario writing, sound direction, motion capture design, digital video expertise, and multimedia creation. They are also hosting a new game announcement presentation by students on August 25th and a summer free school in 1999. The ad includes contact details and images of students working on computers and a girl holding a Dreamcast controller. This page is a reader corner called Ghoul Ghoul Powers from Dreamcast Magazine. It starts with this week's opening illustration of the Uzumaki sisters and cat, created by an artist from Aichi Prefecture, who draws the Uzumaki sisters as Heiseitian beauties. The main section, Dream Plaza, compiles reader submissions all about their Dreamcast experiences, highlighting how amazing the Dreamcast is. The Uzumaki sisters with cat section introduces the characters Uzumaki sister, Dreamchan, Uzumaki brother, Castikun, and Uzumaki cat, Poo-Poo, with reader contributions from each character's perspective. Readers share stories like one about daily internet use on Dreamcast and offline reading, another about a husband buying a Dreamcast before his wife because he likes soccer games, and a story about always buying Dreamcast pamphlets from convenience stores. Other reader stories include humorous anecdotes about curry, mosquito coils, and being scared by their cats staring at empty space and thinking it might be ghosts. One submission highlights the game Seaman and Soul Calibur, mentioning someone being engrossed in them for hours. The page finishes with a late summer greetings section featuring fan art. One artwork depicts Sonic and Tails in a summery scene, while another is of the Seaman character. This section gathers postcards that evoke a sense of coolness, perfect for the late summer season, encouraging readers to overcome summer fatigue. This page showcases a reader Q&A section and an illustration garden. The Q&A corner addresses reader questions with lighthearted, cat-like responses. Questions range from choosing a player name and character names to inquiries about characters in the NHK drama Susuran. The illustration garden displays fan artwork based on the theme Appetite, Physical Strength, Autumn of Literature, featuring illustrations inspired by games such as Berserk, Star Gladiator 2, Nightmare of Bilstein, and Baldur's Gate. Artist names and their prefectures are provided alongside their artwork submissions. The next page in Dreamcast Magazine is a reader submission section called Dream Mail Corner. In the first section, a reader reminisces about the Saturn Digital Dance Mix series and asks about the status of the second installment on Dreamcast, wondering if a big name is involved in its production and if a new single will be released. The next submission is from someone who fondly remembers playing games described as Okum, games with friends, and wishes to relive that exciting experience on the Dreamcast. Another reader expresses their desire for a sequel to Devil Summoner on the Dreamcast. The following submission features an image related to the game Baroque and expresses hope for a Dreamcast port, praising its unique world and graphics. Next, a reader discusses Dragon Quest IV and expresses their wish for a better remake on the Dreamcast, implying dissatisfaction with the current remake quality. Another submission mentions the Ghosts and Goblins, Makaimura, series and expresses hope for new installments on Dreamcast. They also inquire about a connection between this and a CM commercial for Make an X. The next section seems to appreciate artwork, commenting on the sophisticated girl expression and a flower in the image. Following that, there's a congratulatory message, albeit a bit late, for Sakura Wars Evolution 2. Finally, the last section seems to express excitement for Evolution 2, Far Off Promise, or Evolution Worlds internationally, highlighting a glove and power-up theme, possibly relating to game mechanics or character abilities in the sequel. This page has the Natsuge Museum section looking back at older games. First up is Wizardry V on Super Famicom, described as the fifth in the famous 3D dungeon RPG series, highlighting character creation and realistic dungeons. Next is Shining Force on Mega Drive, the first game in the series, noted as a simulation RPG. The writer bought it on release day because the TV commercial was great and found the story and gameplay easy for beginners, with orchestral sound and appealing characters, despite some difficulty with strong enemies and hidden items. They recommend playing the Mega Drive versions of Shining Force I and II if you haven't already. Golden Axe, The Duel, is also mentioned as a jam, implying it's a fun game. There is a Love Cafe corner with reader submissions, including drawings and questions. The page also includes posting rules for reader contributions, detailing how to submit illustrations and text, paper types, and addressing submissions. Finally, there is a section called Princess Express, likely reviewing or previewing a game, with an image of anime-style girls, suggesting it features female characters. This page is an advertisement for the Black Matrix Anthology Comic Volume 2. It's based on the Black Matrix simulation game on Dreamcast. The comic features work from various creators, including Tsukihara Masami and Aoyanagi Takumi, and is part of the SB Comics game series, which also includes anthology comics for Doublecast and Season O Dakishimete. This page is titled Robot Game Sense Explosion, with a subheading, Pico Pico Punk Invasion. It's an article discussing the influence of techno and new wave music on Japanese bands, mentioning groups like Polysix, Spoozies, Motocampo, and P-Model. The article delves into the concepts of techno and new wave, referencing artists such as Ken Ishii, Underworld, XTC, Devo, Talking Heads, and Flying Lizards. It highlights the band Devo and their impact in Japan, suggesting a connection between this music scene and a developing game sense within Japanese culture during that era. The page seems to be exploring the cultural intersection of music and the emerging game aesthetic, although no specific video games are directly discussed or pictured on this particular page. This page is the recommended music section, highlighting various music albums. There's an announcement about Ozakin making their world debut, mentioning they are based in NY and will release an album with contributions from Stevie Wonder and others. The music reviews begin with Devo's Purity Requirement Learning Theory, described as ironic and impactful robot pop. Plastics All Across the USA Live 80 is praised as ultra kitsch and high-sense Tokyo garage techno. P-Model's Virtual Live 1 PMODEL Live at KN Studio is mentioned as a hybrid band continuing to fight in the industry, representing the PMODEL Genesis period. Moving on, Super Earth Spoonie's self-titled album, Existence of Super Earth Spoozies, is reviewed as a powerful live recording. With the Delaware is described as radio-friendly pop rock with a nostalgic feel. Polysix First P is noted for its robotic new wave sound, praising their synthesizer and sound creation, suggesting they may be influenced by Devo and Yellow Magic Orchestra. Lastly, Love Life's World's End is called prettyish rock and roll with Gamera sensibilities, described as bittersweet and melancholic, possibly influenced by new wave princes. Metamo's Orange is mentioned for its catchy chorus and new wave punk sound, suggesting they are a band related to Chekosera female units. Finally, T2's Last Century Modern is described as evolved pop music, using computer programming to create robotic, futuristic sounds, compared to Yellow Magic Orchestra. This page is a manga strip titled Samsung Yoshimatsu's Dream Theater, and features a character known as Male Charm Japan No. 1. The comic humorously depicts events at a crowded comiquette, where the characters talk about getting snacks outside the venue and the excitement of finding a copy of Cast Magazine featuring Figureya. The characters also discuss a Big Earth Kantoku and make jokes about understanding the subtle comments related to Figureya, creating a lighthearted and comedic scene around fan culture and event experiences. This page is a column titled Black Ore by Fumio Kurokawa. The article this week is about RoboCop and AIBO 2, focusing on the Sony AIBO robot, which the author describes as an electronic pet that even Bill Gates wanted. It's positioned as more sophisticated than a Furby doll and is priced at 250,000 yen or 300,000 yen with options. The AIBO is described as being plastic, having 18 movable parts, a CCD camera for eyes, and stereo microphones for ears. It's a self-propelled robot, unlike a regular dog, with a 1.5-hour battery life requiring charging. The author relates AIBO to science fiction like RoboCop and Terminator, and discusses its AI and memory capabilities using memory sticks. The column explores the potential for robots like AIBO to become commonplace in homes in the near future. There's also a profile section for Fumio Kurokawa, stating he was born in 1960, worked in music and film, then at Sega AM2, producing promotions mainly for the VF series, and is currently involved in software promotion. Seihou Tenshi Angel Links Volume 1, a TV anime from Sunrise, is highlighted. The series, set 80 light-years from Earth, features the Angel Links security company combating space pirates. The anime stars Li Meifan, a 16-year-old commander, alongside her subordinates Fei Daohuo, Valeria, and Daos. The first volume, released August 25th, includes 1 episode, with later volumes containing 2. The space opera promises dynamic battles, camaraderie, and Meifan's hidden past. The review notes it aired on WWW in 1999. Additionally, there's news of an app-up project promo video for Downgrade Student, and a new CG/real-life unit called Kids Mates, debuting on Kids Station. Several anime titles are being released or broadcast. On August 25th, rentals of Mobile Suit Gundam Volumes 6 and 7 begin, marking its 20th anniversary. Also available on the 25th are Jungle Emperor Leo Lovely Eyepatch's Secret Volume 2, The Crest of the Stars Volume 3, Tokyo Movie Anime Theme Song, Complete Collection Volume 3, Voicelugger Volume 5, Catch You Special, Volume 2, Duel, Parallel Trouble Adventure Vision 003, Superdoll Rikichan Volume 15, and Space Battleship Yamato Movie Edition. To Heart OVA 2 Special Graduation is on sale August 27th. Godmars begins broadcasting on Animax September 2nd. Now, Magic Knight Ray Earth 2 starts airing on Family Gekijo September 20th. This page showcases an interview with game music composer Kazuhiko Endo, known for his work on titles such as Grandia, Luna, and Langrisser series. He discusses his music creation process and equipment in his home studio, which he calls Rock Drop Studio. He mentions using a PowerMac 7300/166 computer, Roland JV2080, and KORG Trinity Plus synthesizers, and various recording equipment like Yamaha REV500, Alesis 3630, and Sony A8D8 recorder. He talks about his early days using basic equipment and how his setup has evolved, emphasizing that inspiration and emotion are more important than technology in creating moving music. The page also includes his profile detailing his background and work in game music and other musical genres, as well as information on how to purchase his music, including the Best of Grandia album. There is also a snapshot of the month, featuring a cute picture of a child at a festival. This page is an advertisement for the Giant Graham 2 All Japan Pro Wrestling 2 Perfect Guidebook. It highlights that it is a complete strategy guide to master the game, targeting wrestling game enthusiasts. The guide promises detailed explanations of the game system for beginners, a complete roster of 15 wrestlers with all their moves, and interviews with wrestling trainers. It is currently on sale and boasts positive reviews. The book costs 1,200 yen plus tax and is 128 pages long. The Angels Cathedral Corner introduces dot art, emphasizing its potential and showcasing work by dot masters. The first section, Paradise Chef's dot picture recipe, features a playful conversation between pixel art characters Marianne, Oenja, and Nina, while responding to reader questions. They discuss dot art training, joking about the importance of artistic love, and confirming that early game CG used dot art. The section includes a pixel art image and a character named Kashu claims ownership. The second section, The Strange Game Industry, recounts a humorous anecdote from the game industry involving Kashu Hiromi. During Golden Week, the author, misunderstanding the boss's directive of each person's discretion, took a vacation, leading to a furious reaction from his boss, highlighting the disconnect between nominal and actual authority in the workplace, and adding some stress to the deadline. This page is titled, "Users Have Come to Town," and features a collection of reader-submitted pixel art. It showcases various pixel art pieces with comments from the artists and locations from Hokkaido to Kagoshima. Some of the pixel art depicts characters and scenes from anime and games, including a Gao Gaigar from Brave King Gao Gaigar, Fei Yen from Virtualon, End of Evan, Gelion from Neon Genesis Evangelion, and a dragon. There is also pixel art of EGG, Black Matrix, which is likely referring to the game Black Matrix, and For All Gundam, or Turn A Gundam. The page includes a section introducing a pixel artist named Marukata, and his comment about his recent .art activities. There's also an announcement regarding a change in the Reader Corner's name, mentioning Ghoul Powers, and appealing for continued submissions of .art. The address for submissions is provided as well.
One pixel art piece is titled Ichinichi Zaku, a humorous take on the Zaku mobile suit from Gundam. The corner aims to encourage pixel art creation, especially for people who have been focused on polygon graphics recently.
This page is a guide on how to fill out a questionnaire postcard for Dreamcast Magazine, showing examples of good and bad answer styles. It lists hardware and software for reference in the survey, including Dreamcast, PC, FX, Super 32X, Famicom, and WonderSwan in the hardware list. The software list mentions a wide range of Dreamcast games, many of which were Japan exclusive, such as Idol Janshi wo Tsukuchou,
Atsumare,
Guru Onsen, and Undercover AD2025K. It also features international releases like Resident Evil Code, Veronica, and Baldur's Gate. The survey itself asks about reading habits, opinions on the magazine cover, favorite articles, hardware and software ownership, and purchase plans for both. This page is an advertisement for SoftBank Publishing's Strategy Guidebook Campaign 99. Prizes are offered to readers who send in application tickets from Strategy Guidebook covers. The prizes include a WonderSwan handheld console, a GameSpot two-way bag, Neoranga trading cards, and QUO cards worth 500 yen. The campaign period is from August to the end of September 1999 and applies to strategy guides for games such as SD Gundam G Generation Zero and Soul Calibur. This page is an advert for Web TV, highlighting its email capabilities, easy operation, and ability to handle images and sounds. It emphasizes that up to 6 people can use one address, and that users can exchange their favorite homepages using Web TV. The advert strongly promotes email functionality on Web TV. This page is an advertisement for Web TV, promoting it as an easy-to-use internet and email solution. The advert highlights features such as simple operation, email addresses for up to 6 people, and the ability to send emails with images and sounds. It mentions a bingo campaign where users can win prizes like JAL gift cards and Web TV merchandise. The advert offers a free Web TV connection kit for new subscribers who apply via postcard and emphasizes the affordable monthly fee for the service. This page is a preview for the Dreamcast game, Sega Worldwide Soccer Manager 2, known in Japan as Let's Make a Pro Soccer Club. The article highlights the game's features, focusing on the player's ability to become the coach of the Japanese national team. It details how players can participate in international tournaments and experience national anthem scenes before matches. Screenshots showcase gameplay and in-game events, emphasizing the depth of team management and the excitement of leading the national team. The game is a sports training simulation scheduled for release on September 30th and priced at 6,800 yen. It is compatible with keyboard and VGA. The team ranking section shows the current standings of J-League teams. The page also mentions famous coaches like Kato and Okada and Trousier, suggesting they could be in-game figures to aspire to manage against or become. This page focuses on soccer games and previews 2 modes within a game, likely a soccer simulation, centered around international competitions. The first section, titled World Sports Festival U23, highlights a mode where you manage an under-23 national team, similar to the Olympic soccer tournament. It notes the challenge of unifying players from different clubs under a single tactical approach. Kazakhstan is mentioned as a noteworthy opponent in the Asian Olympic qualifiers, emphasizing their solid defense, led by a Solchenko player and a fast forward named Terentsov. The text discusses the difficulties in selecting the best players and managing team dynamics. The second section, International Cup, features a mode with no age restrictions, allowing for the selection of the strongest possible national team. This section stresses the coach's tactical acumen in maximizing the potential of talented players, and suggests that this mode truly tests a manager's ability. It mentions that Japan is aiming to reach the world's top level in soccer, referencing the Brazilian national team and striker Ronaldo as examples of world-class talent. emphasizing the importance of individual player ability. Throughout the page, screenshots from the game depict matches between Japan and Kazakhstan in the U-23 mode, and Japan against Brazil in the International Cup mode, showcasing in-game action and stadium environments. The overall theme is about the challenges and excitement of international soccer management within the game. This page is about the Dreamcast version of a soccer game and its enhanced special scenes. It highlights two key aspects: sharp dribbling to break through defenses and combination plays between two players. The article mentions that special scenes, popular from Sakatsuku 2, are present in the Dreamcast version, showcasing players skillfully maneuvering on the field. It emphasizes the importance of individual player abilities and teamwork to trigger these special scenes. The page discusses how skillful dribbling is essential for breaking through defenses, drawing a comparison to famous Brazilian and Argentinian players. It also elaborates on combination plays, involving well-timed passes and dribbling, to outmaneuver defenders and create scoring opportunities. Screenshots illustrate these gameplay features, depicting players performing dribbling moves and executing combination passes, with visual effects emphasizing these special moments in the game. The text also mentions a heel kick as a visually stunning technique. The overall tone suggests that these enhanced special scenes and gameplay mechanics add depth and excitement to the soccer experience on the Dreamcast. This page is about J-League Pro Soccer Club O Tsukuru, and how the game incorporates supporter feedback and allows for customization, aiming to create an ideal club. It highlights features like listening to supporters' voices, where player decisions are influenced by fan opinions, and supporter ranking, a system that reflects fan popularity and performance. A key feature is the cheering song edit, showcasing a detailed editor where players can create custom chants by arranging melodies, vowel sounds, and sound effects to personalize the stadium atmosphere and enhance the game experience. This page reveals the opening scene and package illustration for the Dreamcast game Revive Sosei, which translates to Revive Rebirth. The game is described as a trap adventure, where the protagonist delves into the depths of girls' hearts to bring back peace to sleeping girls, showing sad expressions. The package art and opening sequence aim to convey a dark and frightening atmosphere, contrasting with a sense of purity and transparency. The image shows girls wrapped in white sheets, sleeping with faint smiles, suggesting a desire to restore peaceful moments to these grieving girls in the game. The game is scheduled for release on October 28th and priced at 6,800 yen. Pre-orders come with bonus items including a CD, a mini cell picture set of 3, and a memorial telephone card application ticket. This page showcases a preview for the Dreamcast game Sentimental Graffiti 2. The article highlights the game's cinematic prologue, emphasizing a movie-like presentation with voice actors and staff names displayed as the story unfolds. The screenshots depict scenes from the game, including everyday school life with the main character and his friends, contrasting with more dramatic and mysterious elements. One section hints at a past event in a restaurant, with characters Masumi and Raiko seemingly reflecting on memories while looking out of a window, juxtaposed with images of monitors and a tense atmosphere. The preview teases the game's storyline, where the protagonist is drawn into a mystery involving a girl named Kiharuna. He receives a letter from an unknown sender, leading him to a research facility, where he must confront danger to protect Kiharuna and her smile. The article mentions a key element called DSR, which will be detailed further on the next page. The staff names listed are Yukino Tanimeshi, Yugo Tanzuka, Miyabi Shimotsuka, and Yuzuki Sakura. This page is introducing the Dreamcast game DSR, explaining the core gameplay mechanic called DSR, which stands for Direct Search Reaction. The game involves players clicking on various parts of the screen to investigate environments and trigger different reactions and messages within the game. The page focuses on a scenario set in a research facility garage, showcasing interactive elements like a locker, bed, water area, and electrical panel. It highlights that these interactions reveal information and advance the story. The first character players encounter is Toku Yuzuki, described as a quiet girl with glasses. The page introduces her as the first meeting event in the game and hints at the reasons behind her being in the research facility, suggesting a sense of suspense and mystery. Another character named Nana is also briefly mentioned, suggesting she is a sports girl and an acquaintance of Yuzuki, possibly involved in the story. The page emphasizes the game's focus on atmosphere and character reactions as key elements of the gameplay experience. This page is about the game Revive, focusing on an event occurrence within the game. It seems to be a trapped situation where a character named Misumi is stuck in a shutter. The gameplay appears to involve clicking on different parts of Misumi's body, like her hair, eyes, chest, hands, and feet, to trigger different messages and gain clues on how to help her. The choices you make influence the story. Dialogue and listening to Misumi's words are important. The page also covers a Revive-related event report from Data East's 1999 Summer Battle 2. This event featured stage appearances, talk shows, mini-live performances, and game information, with other Data East titles like Magical Drop F and Detective Saburo Jinguji, Until the Light Goes Out, being mentioned. Finally, there is an urgent announcement for a new Data East title, Cry 2 Corridor of Tragedy, which is described as a sequel. The character designer for the OVA Cry, Toshihide Kotani, is noted as being involved. There was also a Message Center Revive Goods event at Akihabara Messe Sano, with merchandise sales and appearances from the Revive support unit, M-ON. This page is a preview of the game Black Matrix Advance for the Dreamcast. The page highlights it as a ultimate evolution of the series, and emphasizes the inclusion of full-motion video for event scenes. The text mentions it's a tactical simulation game where you control characters. The main character featured is Abel, who is described as having lost his memory due to a major incident and is now indebted to his master. The page indicates a release date in September and a price of 6,800 yen. The game is said to be for one player only and will be released on 2 GDROM discs. The game is published by NEC Interchannel. The screenshots show various scenes from the game, including battles, characters, and environments. Black Matrix AD for the Dreamcast is a simulation role-playing game depicting a struggle between rulers and slaves, symbolized by black and white-winged people. This enhanced remake of the Sega Saturn original features full animation, improved scenarios, a new battle system, and expanded character elements. Players choose one of 6 main characters, Domina, Plika, Michette, Krisu, Plaha, and Zero, at the start, influencing the first chapter and the player's relationship with their chosen master. The first chapter focuses on the main character's recovery. The game offers 3 difficulty levels. Gameplay screenshots show turn-based combat and visual novel-style cutscenes beginning after the master selection, depicting characters waking with them. This game's first chapter focuses on the daily life of 2 lovers, emphasizing a peaceful existence with the master. Players manage action points, AP, to engage in various activities within a 1-year time frame. Gameplay centers on diverse actions and minigames, categorized by required input. Minigames include woodchopping, hunting, fishing, and cooking, improving stats like strength, dexterity, and vitality. Actions like fieldwork, reading, and cleaning boost intelligence and other stats. The chapter's flow involves minigames, choices, events, AP recovery through sleep, town visits, and parameter adjustments. Screenshots showcase gameplay and interactions, highlighting the joy of shared experiences and the beauty of nature across the seasons. This page is a feature for the game Black Matrix Advanced, a role-playing game. It details the story and characters across different chapters of the game. The prologue highlights the main character's declaration of love. Chapter 2, Golgota's Prison, features Urga, who is trying to escape from prison and is surprised by the player's attempt to escape. Chapter 3, Temple of the Sun, introduces Piripo, a young boy with black wings who is treated as a plague victim, and Yohane, a high priest aiming to realize his ambition, becoming a great magician. Rulupi, a disciple of Yohane, and a girl who guards the magic sword, is also shown. Chapter 4, On the Journey, mentions that Zero is a destined rival of Laburos again. The character Gaius is described as the wind demon Gaius, skilled with swords and scythes, crushing enemies with swift movements. Libros is proud of his strength and confidence, and considers Gaius a good rival, unbeatable by anyone. Urga is depicted as feeling cornered and unable to escape from Golgota prison, expressing despair. Piripo is a young boy with black wings, mistreated and encountered by the main character. Yopene is a high priest who is also a great magician, with ambitions. Rulupi is Yohane's disciple, guarding the magic sword with her power. This page introduces the battle system of a strategy RPG for the Dreamcast, emphasizing its strategic depth and freedom. It explains several key elements. Battle Key Point 1, Ceremony, details the BP Bloody Point system, where BP earned from defeating enemies is used in a pre-battle ceremony to awaken the latent abilities of weapons, enhancing their potential. The battle flow outlines the steps from unit formation to level-ups. Grasping the battle situation and giving accurate instructions highlights the importance of real-time command decisions during battle, using main commands like move, attack, defend, items, and wait, stressing the need to understand the battlefield and unit status. Battle Key Point 2, Companions, explains how recruiting companions in towns is crucial, increasing your forces and impacting the story. The page also mentions weapon and item procurement before battles, and emphasizes that understanding attack type and weapon type is fundamental to strategic combat. The screenshots depict typical turn-based tactical RPG gameplay. This page details gameplay mechanics for Black Matrix Advance. It outlines the 3 types of magic: attack, attack support, and recovery, noting they consume BP. The page also describes the growth system, where units level up after battles and gain bonus points to allocate to stats like STR, INT, VIT, DEX, and MOV. A free parameter UP screenshot shows this stat allocation screen. The Magic Biorhythm Clock section explains how magic power fluctuates with time using a clock system, represented by a bar that changes color and length. The longer the green bar, the stronger the magic effect. Different colored bars represent different elemental influences on magic power. The page also covers how unit placement affects attack power, with higher ground providing an advantage. Finally, it touches on the choice branch route system, indicating that player choices will lead to different story developments. This page is a preview for the romance-adventure game Sentimental Graffiti 2 for the Sega Saturn. The page displays multiple screenshots and text bubbles showcasing different scenes and characters. The text talks about receiving a letter from him and the anticipation of a happy future, but hints at a turn of events where he is no longer present, creating a sense of unease and uncertainty for the female protagonist. The screenshots depict various emotional moments of a female character, seemingly highlighting the sentimental nature of the game, including scenes in a room, outside near train tracks, and near what seems to be a car accident or disaster scene. The bottom right of the page contains game information, including the release date as January 27, 2000 for NEC Interchannel, and highlighting it as a romance adventure game with an undetermined price. The page also has a special report badge and a progress bar at 55%. Sentimental Graffiti 2 has completed its opening movie and details the game's story continuation from the original. The graphics have been updated for the original heroines, enhancing their visual presentation. While resembling their previous incarnations, the girls will have altered personalities and storylines. Sub-characters are crucial, providing guidance and conflict. Luxurious voice actors have been cast for these roles. 4 sub-characters are introduced: Makoto, a senior in the photography club; Marie, a tutor and Yumiki's student; Kochi, Rurika's observant twin brother; and Jun, Ayako's kind younger brother who recently moved to Tokyo. Voice recording for the heroines is progressing smoothly. This page introduces Linda Rotter, a character from the Dreamcast game Zombie Revenge. It highlights her profile details, including her age, height, and weight. The page also details her story within the game, explaining she is a special agent working for a special task force. The article mentions this is the 3rd special feature on Zombie Revenge, and focuses on the revelation of Linda's 2P color scheme, described as a party costume-like outfit, and it emphasizes this is a must-see for fans. The game is advertised for release in October at a price of 5,800 yen, excluding tax, and highlights features such as action gameplay, 2-player simultaneous play, arcade stick compatibility, and VGA support. This page is a game preview for Zombie Revenge on the Sega Dreamcast. The page focuses on the character Linda, highlighting her design as a fighting character, but not too macho, with a sporty physique. The designer notes her outfit choices, mentioning running shorts and cutoff jeans initially, which evolved into a suit for melee combat. The 2P color scheme for Linda is described as being leader-inspired and robot-like, hinting at a different visual style. The page also details Linda's unique fighting techniques, presenting her as a master of shooting. There are sections for barehanded combos and hold combos, listing moves like gunrise upper, heartbreak upper, and stamp kick for bare hands, and pressure bomb and neck swing drive for hold attacks. These sections explain the button inputs and effects of each move, describing them as ways to defeat zombies and create openings. The next week's section teases the next issue featuring Tsuyoshi Damoto, suggesting a feature on him and potentially the game he is associated with, possibly in an arcade setting. The text hints at a reveal regarding his partner and the reasons for their fight. This page is a feature story from a Japanese gaming magazine with two main articles. The first feature, titled Reversal of Sega, is a roundtable interview with Masashi Sato from Sony Computer Entertainment. The second feature, titled Adult Game Good Reputation Release Middle 4 Issues, highlights popular adult games and mentions the fourth issue in the series. The page also lists several games under the Special and 9M Recommend sections. In the Special section, games mentioned include Run Wild Runner and Happy Companions, Cul-de-Cept Expansion, Ace Combat 3, Electrosphere, and Sagare Ijiri. The 9M Recommend section lists Klonoa, Door to Phantomile, Giant Graham, All Japan Pro Wrestling, Mario Golf 64, Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 3, Tabidachi no Uta, Seaman, Poppin' Music, Kuin no Kizuna, Buggy Heat, Stratosphere, Ore no Shikabane wo Koete Yuke, Comic Party, EverQuest, 99 Koshien, Tribes, and a concept referred to as yearning or longing. Note that Mario Golf 64 and Ore no Shikabane wo Koete Yuke were not Dreamcast games, but are listed here, likely in a wider game context. This page is a hot information section showcasing new Dreamcast game releases and strategy guides. It highlights a selection of games that are featured in the magazine with their corresponding page numbers. Titles mentioned include New Japan Pro Wrestling, Toucan Retsuden 4, the rhythm game Pop Music 2, and Dancing Blade, Kaitni Momotenshi, Kanzenban. Also listed are Soul Calibur, Martian Successor Nadesico, The Mission, Let's Make a Professional Baseball Team, quote, Cool Borders Burn, The Unique Pet Simulation Seaman, The Adventure Game to the North, Photo Memories, and the Life Simulation RPG World Neverland Plus, or Rudo Kingdom Story. The page is decorated with cartoon-style and anime-style characters, presumably representing some of these games. At the bottom, it promotes a Dreamcast Soft Complete Guide, focusing on in-depth strategy guides for Dreamcast software. This page is a preview for Toucan Retsuden 4, a Dreamcast Pro Wrestling game. The page highlights the game's focus on Golden Pro Wrestling from the Showa era, emphasizing the importance of style and commitment to wrestling philosophy over simply winning. The game lets players create edit wrestlers and participate in online battles using Dreamcast's network capabilities. The preview mentions that the release date for Toucan Retsuden 4 has been decided. It is scheduled for release on September 2nd and will cost 6,800 yen. It is for 1 to 4 players and supports Rumble Packs, VGA boxes, and network communication. The article emphasizes the depth in creating wrestlers, advising players to first conceptualize their wrestler style, then fine-tune their parameters and AI logic through computer-controlled matches before finally registering them online. It stresses the importance of persistent adjustments and checking, warning against simply creating wrestlers based on initial impressions. The game aims to capture the essence of classic pro wrestling, where the art of wrestling and belief in one's style are paramount, not just victory. Golden Pro Wrestling introduces 6 wrestlers: Kazunoriron, an ace with flying and grappling skills, and Liverpool Yamada, a junior heavyweight with striking and throwing power, are showcased. Tachibana Jr. is a heel known for dirty tactics, while Mayataka Sansoji specializes in strikes, kicks, and submissions rooted in UWF. Darkan is a mysterious foreign riot fighter, and Koshien, a masked villain incorporating baseball moves and tactics. Producers' comments offer insights into each wrestler's style, inspirations, and potential storylines, hinting at rivalries and character roles. This page is part of a feature titled New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestlers' True Faces, and presents an interview with wrestler Hiroyoshi Tenzan. In the interview, Tenzan discusses his childhood, his path to becoming a professional wrestler, and his thoughts on wrestling. No Dreamcast games or related content are mentioned or displayed on this page. This page features an interview with professional wrestler Tenryu Hiroyoshi, discussing his career and thoughts on pro wrestling, specifically in relation to the game Toucan Retsuden 4. The interview covers several topics: Tenryu's experience training overseas in Canada, his training methods which involve wrestling for 34 hours daily, his views on the appeal of pro wrestling as a profession to deliver dreams, hope, and emotion to the audience. He also discusses his current rivalries and goals, mentioning aiming for the G1 tournament victory. Finally, he gives a message to the readers, encouraging them to enjoy the game Toucan Retsuden
and defeat opponents in it. The page also contains a section about Tukon Retsuden 4, known internationally as New Japan Pro Wrestling Tukon Retsuden 4, for the Dreamcast. It describes the game's features like Wrestler Tenryu's signature moves, such as the Powerbomb and Buffalo Sleeper, and encourages players to use these techniques to win. A screenshot of the game is shown featuring a wrestler in a submission hold, indicating gameplay related to grappling and wrestling moves.
This page is a preview for Pops and Music 2 for the Dreamcast, highlighting it as a volume-packed console edition with new modes and original songs. It mentions that Pops and Music 2 for Dreamcast is based on the arcade version and is packed with new songs and hidden arcade tracks. It is recommended for both solo play and playing with friends. New features include a marathon mode, where players can play through all the songs in the game with 3 difficulty levels, and a survival mode, where players must clear courses with various themes, with the gauge decreasing with BAD ratings. The page also introduces a downloadable minigame for the VM called Dokodemo Poppin' Music, a compact version of Poppin' Music that can be enjoyed on the go. The game is set to be released on September 14th for 4,800 yen and is categorized as a music simulation. It supports the Popsin controller and visual memory. The developer states that Popsin Music 2 is a key disc, and future sequels are planned as append discs, suggesting that those who own Popsin Music 2 will be able to obtain subsequent games at a lower price. This text details new songs and characters for a Dreamcast rhythm game, likely a Beatmania title. Cute is an upbeat vocal track sung by Anu, unlocked by clearing beginner mode. New Folk, an acoustic guitar song featuring Flower, requires clearing New Wave with original characters. Sexy Girl, a dance track with Maifa, needs clears of Urban Pop and either Euro Queen or Disco Queen. AKIBAB, a speedy electropop track by Sholky, is unlocked by completing the beginner marathon. Lounge, a French-influenced song with Rayo Kun, requires high scores on NEO ACO and any song in Stage 2. Lastly, Junior and B is a soulful track featuring Tourmaline, unlocked by achieving specific score counts in Stages 1 or 2. This page previews Kotobi Taishi Dancing Blade Kayeta Kita Hero, a Dreamcast interactive anime adventure game from Konami, scheduled for release on September 2nd at a price of 5,800 yen. The story follows Princess Peach, who sets out to Oni Island to uncover the secret of her birth. Along her journey, she encounters companions like dogs, monkeys, and boars. The game is described as an interactive anime, meaning it's an adventure game where the anime progresses based on player choices. This complete version for Dreamcast boasts enhancements over the PlayStation version, including additional animation sequences and a director's cut that fills in scenes omitted from the PS version. Furthermore, new content like previews and bonus movies are exclusive to the Dreamcast edition. The page emphasizes that the Dreamcast version offers a more complete and enhanced experience compared to its PlayStation counterpart. This page previews the game Kibidami, Oni Island Oni Extermination. The story is about Momohime and her companions traveling to Oni Island to defeat demons. The game involves taking out Kibidango and eating while heading to Oni Island, where they await battle. During the journey, their ship is attacked, and they must fight demons. Momohime confronts the giant demon. There's a section discussing choices in the game, specifically whether to eat Kibidango or a luxurious meal, and how this impacts the story. Choosing a luxurious meal leads to food poisoning for the protagonist, which then leads to a scenario where Oinu and Kijime argue over who will care for the sick protagonist, causing further chaos. Character introductions are given for Momohime, who was born from a peach, and Kijime, who was raised by Tengu. Oinu, originally a dog, transformed into a human. The page highlights that these backstories and character setups will be revealed in the game. This page focuses on Soul Calibur for the Dreamcast, highlighting its innovative opening direction feature, allowing players to customize the game's opening sequence. This feature, a first for the industry, lets players edit character appearances and create unique opening scenes using in-game models. Namco vs. the developers emphasize the feature's potential for both humorous and dramatic custom openings. Key opening points include First Encounter, customizable character introductions, and Soul and Sword 1, showcasing detailed character models with options for default scenes or panel combinations. The page also features a creation example from Dream Magazine's editorial department, demonstrating the feature's versatility and encouraging player experimentation. The game is set to release on August 5th for 5,800 yen and supports various peripherals and multiplayer options. This page is a powerful image advertising Soul Calibur on Dreamcast, featuring the fearsome character Cervantes against a dramatic sunset backdrop with a castle. It's a striking full-page spread showcasing the visual intensity of the game. This page showcases a full-page image dedicated to Xianghua from Soul Calibur. The page title clearly states Xianghua and Xianghua, alongside the Soul Calibur logo, highlighting her as a central figure for the game. It's a striking visual presentation, likely used for promotion within Dreamcast Magazine. The next page delves into Soul Calibur gameplay tips and techniques. It highlights several key aspects of the game's presentation and combat mechanics. Sections are titled A Girl in the Wind, describing a scene focused on Ivy in a field. Soul and Sword Warriors 2, showcasing dynamic battle scenes and character interactions. The Heroes of History 1 and 2, featuring close-up character portraits. And Time to Fight, covering the dramatic opening sequence with flames and character appearances, including Inferno. The page then focuses on gameplay, with the heading, Have you tried this? The Crafted Techniques, offering advice on mastering guard impact reversal, and encourages players to explore the command list and create their own combos in practice mode's freestyle setting, using repel or parry settings to refine timing. It suggests experimenting to discover effective techniques and character-specific combos for advanced play. This guide details how to unlock hidden content in Soul Calibur on Dreamcast. New characters and stages are unlocked by completing arcade mode in a specific order, starting with Hwoang. Additional stages require purchasing special art in the art gallery. Edgemaster and Inferno become playable under specific conditions. Skirt colors of female characters can be changed with button combinations. Mission battle points are earned through various modes. The art gallery offers special arts unlocking content like extra missions, stages, and costumes. Cause and effect battles occur in Arcade Stage 7. Extra survival mode is unlocked through the art gallery after completing regular survival. Finally, an internet mode password, Soul of Hero, unlocks more content. This page is dedicated to the Dreamcast game Mobile Battleship Nadesico: The Mission. It introduces the game's flow, starting with stage start, which leads to scenario map, battle map, and event adventure, culminating in the next stage. The page then highlights the heroine character list, showcasing various female characters from the game, such as Hoshino Ruri, Subaru Ryoko, Amano Hikaru, and others. Each character profile provides a brief description and the name of their voice actress, emphasizing the game's romance simulation aspects and the interactions players can have with the Nadesico crew members to increase compatibility value. This page showcases units from the Dreamcast game Mobile Battleship Nadesico: The Blank of 3 Years, featuring allied battleships and mobile weapons. The page details the player's role as captain of the Nadesico B, commanding Estebaris mecha in battle. It introduces 6 types of Estebaris, each designed for different combat roles. Estebaris Aerial Frame, a basic aerial combat unit, good for close combat but with low defense. Estebaris Custom, a balanced unit piloted by the main character and his comrades, improving on the base Estebaris capabilities. Estebaris Landframe, optimized for ground combat and close-range engagements, excelling in terrestrial battles. Estebaris Artillery Frame, specializes in long-range bombardment and artillery support, sacrificing mobility for firepower. Estebaris Heavy Armor Frame, a heavily armored variant providing strong defense and firepower. Super Estebaris, presented as the ultimate form of Estebaris, possessing overwhelming combat capabilities. The page also describes 2 Nadesico-class battleships, the Nadesico B and Nadesico C, and the Rear-Tris-class battleship. The Rear-Tris-class is highlighted as a large-scale main battleship used by Space Forces. Finally, the Nadesico Terminology Collection section explains key concepts in the Nadesico universe, such as IFS, which allows direct computer interface with human thought, Window, a system for aerial maneuvers, Boson Jump, a teleportation system derived from Martian ancient relics, and Nelgal Heavy Industries, the corporation behind the Nadesico project. It also touches on the concept of jumpers, individuals who can utilize the Boson Jump ability and are ranked by their power. This page details the system and mode analysis of the Dreamcast game Martian successor Nadesico. The game features Adventure Mode and Battle Map Mode. Adventure Mode involves event adventures and free adventures, which can be triggered by selecting rest during battle maps. These modes are chances to improve crew relationships and character abilities. The game emphasizes building relationships with crew members, referred to as compatibility value, which affects events during adventure parts and the game's ending. Battle map mode, referred to as stages, involves navigating the Nadesico in space towards a destination. Players need to be cautious of enemy units and can use the record command to save progress. Encounters with enemies on the battle map transition the game to battle map mode for combat. Briefings are held before missions, allowing players to choose action commands. Cooperation skills are key in battle and are activated by the arrangement of action commands, exemplified by a powerful combined attack skill. The page also discusses the history of the Nadesico series, mentioning the TV anime broadcast from 1996 to 1997, the Sega Saturn game, The Blank of 3 Years, released in 1998, and the movie, The Prince of Darkness, released in 1998. The Dreamcast version is presented as a culmination of the Nadesico series, supervised by director Sato Tatsuo, with a storyline that bridges the gap between the TV series and the movie. This guide details strategies for the Japanese Dreamcast game Martian successor Nadesico, The Blank of 3 Years. It focuses on Stage 1, covering missions 0 to 5, and includes a progress chart. Mission 0 is an introductory tutorial. Mission 1 involves destroying an enemy fleet in a simulated battle. Mission 2 centers on destroying the tulip using cooperative techniques, Renkei-waza. Destroying the tulip quickly prevents reinforcements. The guide also explains Renkei-waza a la carte, which outlines combined attack techniques. These techniques involve combining commands like certain kill and attack for increased hit rates, or attack and attack for a combined attack. The next page is a strategy guide for the Dreamcast game Martian successor Nadesico, The Blank of 3 Years. It details strategies for missions 3, 4, and 5, focusing on deploying the Estabilis team effectively. Mission 3, Sortie Stabilize team, involves destroying Tulip and facing Katenbo and Bata units, with operations A, B, and C outlined with map diagrams for unit placement. Mission 4, Protect the supply ship, tasks players with defending a supply ship from waves of smaller enemies, offering strategic advice for Operation AORB. Mission 5, Defend the moon dock, requires defending the dock against enemies including Yanma and powerful Meijin units, again with operations A, B, and C map strategies. The guide lists enemy units for each mission and provides tactical tips to succeed in each scenario using the Estabilis units. The next page is advertising a Yakyutsuku Dreamcast Network tournament. Yakyutsuku is the shortened name for Pro Yakyu Team Otsukuru. Let's make a pro baseball team. This tournament is open for entries until September 5th. To participate, you need to register using a credit card or web money card, purchase Dream virtual currency, and then exchange it for a Tsukuru coupon on the Yakyutsuku homepage. The tournament prizes are quite substantial, with the winner receiving 5 Dreamcast software titles and 5 VM units. Second place gets 3 of each, and third place receives 1 of each. Special prizes are also mentioned, including tickets to the Japan series and signed baseball cards. The tournament rules specify that data used will be up to the first half of the season, and designated hitters will not be used. This page is a feature in the magazine that pits 2 different baseball strategies against each other in Professional Baseball Dreamcast. It's Mobility Baseball versus Dynamite batting lineup, and asks, which is stronger? The teams being compared are the Seibu Lions and the Yomiuri Giants. The page breaks down key moments from a simulated game into points. Point 1 focuses on the first inning, where Matsui of the Lions steals a base, highlighting the team's mobility. Point 2 describes a strategic pitching change by the Giants in the 4th inning after conceding an opening run. Point 3 is about the 8th inning, where the Lions seem to be getting a knockout blow with a powerful hit. Point 4 covers the 9th inning and a last-ditch effort by the Giants to score, described as a consolation hit. The final result shows the Seibu Lions winning 43. The article concludes that both team styles were effectively displayed in the game, but the Lions consistently pushed runners into scoring positions due to their mobility. It suggests that if the Lions had a stronger batter to capitalize on opportunities, they might have won by a larger margin, emphasizing the importance of speed and base running in the game. The next page details baseball game strategies in 2 formulas. Formula 1 focuses on selecting a director that matches your team's color, highlighting 3 team types: a mobility-focused team that uses base running, a pitching-focused team with strong pitchers, and a hitting-focused team that aims for explosive offense. Each team type description comes with advice on the ideal director or coach. Formula 2 is about clarifying pitcher roles. It explains the roles of starting pitcher, reliever, and closer, and the skills required for each. It emphasizes the importance of understanding pitcher abilities and assigning them to the appropriate role. The page includes screenshots from a baseball simulation game showing player profiles with stats and in-game pitching scenes. These profiles and scenes are likely illustrations for the strategy advice, rather than focusing on a specific game title. The page is providing general baseball game strategy guidance, not a game review. This page is all about baseball strategy on the Dreamcast. It starts by emphasizing that a good catcher is essential for a strong defense in baseball games. It then discusses the importance of the batting order for winning, suggesting ideal player skills for each position from first to ninth batter. For example, the leadoff hitter should prioritize on-base percentage and hitting ability, while the second batter should be fast, and the cleanup hitter needs power. Finally, it highlights the extensive customization options available in Dreamcast baseball games through the Create a Player feature, emphasizing the depth you can go to when building your team. The page offers advice on building a strong baseball team and achieving victory on the Dreamcast. This page is all about improving your baseball team's strength through camp training in a baseball game. It details the training menus available during camp for both pitchers and batters, outlining how each menu affects specific player stats. For pitchers, the training menus like running, long throws, muscle training, pitching practice, change ball training, and mental training improve stats such as stamina, ball speed, ball control, and mental fortitude in pinch situations. For batters, menus like running, free hitting, bunting practice, muscle training, dash, fielding practice, catching practice, and mental training boost stats like stamina, hitting skill, eye for the ball, bat control, power hitting, shoulder strength, running speed, stealing ability, reaction time, and catching ability for fielders. The page also covers special camp locations that can be chosen based on your team's performance from the previous year. Different locations offer unique training menus that are more effective at improving certain stats. These locations include local training, domestic training within Japan, Taiwan, Guam, Australia, Arizona, India, and Africa. Each location has an associated cost and requirements to unlock, typically based on your team's class, B class, A class, and whether you are playing in Japan in the game. For example, training in Taiwan with Tai Chi Fist training focuses on improving pitching stamina, ball speed and control, and batting skill, eye for the ball, and bat control. Choosing the right camp location allows you to target specific player attributes for maximum improvement during training camp. This guide catalogs items in a baseball management simulation game, categorized as goods and items. Goods are fan-related merchandise, including flags, clothing, souvenirs, and snacks. Items offer in-game benefits, broadly affecting player abilities or team management. Player-focused items boost hitting, fielding, running, and catching. Other items improve home game attendance, scout search probability, reduce maintenance costs, increase stamina recovery, enhance trade success, reveal lottery box contents, and reduce injury severity. Symbols, including D-planning, likely denote developer or planner involvement in item creation or implementation. Cool Borders Burn, a snowboarding game released on August 26th, is hosting 2 online events. The first is a score attack competition. Players upload replay data via the game's website for a chance to win prizes like a custom snowboard and apparel. Participants must have the retail game and internet connection and can compete on the mountain review stage with most boards and characters. The deadline is September 24th. The second event is a board design contest. Dreamcast Publications designed custom boards, and players can vote for their favorites online. Winning designs are downloadable for in-game use. The page features board designs from Famitsu DC, Dreamcast Fan, and Dreamcast Magazine. Instructions are provided on how to upload replay data for the competition. The website address for downloading and voting is provided at the bottom of the page. Quote, "This guide offers strategies for the Dreamcast game Cool Borders Burn. Cool Borders codename Viper. The focus is on the mountain course, providing 6 key tips. These include using an ollie jump with a miss tee, an original trick for extra time at the start, and performing ollie and tricks in straight line sections to execute special moves. Players are advised to take the inside curve for speed, using an invert trick, and avoid risky deep maneuvers in favor of stable spin tricks. Taking the outside path at a fork and adjusting position for ollie jumps and a mysterious 1080 trick in a long straight section are also recommended. Course 2 is unlocked by completing Course 1 or playing for 30 minutes. Mastering Course 1 is crucial. The next page is a strategy guide for the Dreamcast game Cool Borders, specifically for the Emerald Forest course, which is Course 2. The page features a map of the course with numbered sections and red dots indicating trick areas. The guide provides tips for navigating the course, starting from Trick Area 1 and moving through different sections. It highlights areas where players can perform tricks to earn high scores and extra time. One section focuses on rotation direction, explaining how to perform misty tricks successfully by considering the direction of rotation and body position to increase the chance of landing tricks. Gameplay screenshots illustrate these tips and sections of the course. This strategy guide for Cool Borders Burn details course-specific tips and unlock conditions. Section 3 advises centering oneself after exiting the cave for a smooth transition to the trick area. Section 4 highlights a non-slip cliffside, requiring deceleration on the inner course. Sections 5 and 6 cover a 3D intersection, guiding players to take the right fork in the first part and the left fork in the second for optimal navigation. Jumping the course in this area is discouraged. To unlock Course 3, players must rank in the top 3 in Course 2's time or trick modes, or accumulate over an hour of playtime. The final trick area benefits from side spins due to numerous corners. The guide encourages practice for improved rankings. This article previews the Dreamcast game Seaman, focusing on the creature's evolution. Act 1 describes the Gilman stage, starting fish-like and developing hands and feet. Players feed them, and they exhibit personality. Act 2 details the introduction of a spider in the insect cage, creating a mini ecosystem. Act 3 highlights the seaman's transition to land due to water level changes, evolving rapidly from its aquatic origins. Act 4 describes the Gilman laying eggs, signifying the end of its life cycle, which is a somber experience. Act 5 then shifts focus to the eggs, which contain human faces, foreshadowing the birth of the Tadman stage. Quote, "This page highlights the fascinating creature from Seaman, the Tadpole Man, showcasing its evolution through Acts 6 and 7. It begins as a tadpole with a human-like face and voice, named Tadpole Man, and develops hands and feet. The text emphasizes the emotional depth of witnessing this life form evolve, contrasting its strange appearance with the moving experience of observing its growth. It mentions that feeding is important, and that the Tadpole Man eats flies using a chameleon-like tongue. The page also delves into some unintended gameplay elements, referring to them as gimmicks. One section, titled DC Repeated Reading, uses the fighting game Soul Calibur as an example, where editorial staff commented on player styles. Another feature discussed is VM Bait Exchange, explaining how to use the VMU to exchange bait within Seaman, crucial for avoiding bait shortages, especially early in the game. Finally, there's a bonus section showcasing further interactions with the Frogman, including wrestling and playful behaviors, highlighting the game's unique and engaging nature. This page is focused on the Dreamcast game Kita-E, Photo Memories. It's described as a mini-adventure and illustration collection game set in Hokkaido, released on August 5th for 3,800 yen. The page introduces the main character, Megumi Aida, who is depicted as being more mature than expected. The game features various locations in Hokkaido as date spots, including Lake Shikotsu, Noboribetsu Onsen Village, Lake Toya, and Sapporo SPA Land. Several scenarios are highlighted with screenshots and dialogue options. In Lake Shikotsu, the scene involves catching up and having a conversation. Another scene shows Megumi splashing around in the water. At Noboribetsu Bear Ranch, there's a discussion about the sulfurous smell of the hot springs and the Ainu word for bear. Lake Toya is presented with a focus on the changing nature and includes a dialogue about the lake's temperature. The final highlighted scene takes place at a pool in Sapporo SPA Land, reminiscing about childhood memories and featuring a swimsuit event. The page concludes by noting Megumi's slightly more mature demeanor in this installment. This page is about the Dreamcast game featuring the character Tanya Lipinski. It seems to be a visual novel or dating sim game, and this page is a strategy guide or preview. The page highlights various date locations in Hokkaido, Japan, including Niseko, Otaru Canal, and Sapporo Snow Festival. It talks about enjoying romantic scenarios in these scenic locations with Tanya. Different locations are showcased with screenshots of Tanya in each setting, such as the beach, the lake, and the snow festival. The text describes conversations and romantic moments that can be experienced in these locations. A section titled Attack Point mentions that all scenarios in the game feature sunset and swimsuit scenes. The game appears to focus on romance and dating Tanya in beautiful Hokkaido settings. This guide outlines dating strategies for Sayaka Kayano Kuji in Sentimental Graffiti 2. Players navigate dates at locations like Shinsenu Swamp, Mount Yote, Sapporo SPA Land, and Odori Park, engaging in specific conversations tailored to each location. The guide emphasizes the importance of dialogue choices and taking best shot photos, with a limit of 5 photos per date. Key date highlights include listening to Sayaka's childhood memories at Shinsenu Swamp, a potential confession event at Mount Yote's summit, a pool date after mountain climbing featuring Sayaka in a swimsuit, and a date starting in the morning at Odori Park and Sapporo SPA Land. The guide also explains the 5-photo limit as a narrative element, attributed to a malfunctioning digital camera in the game, a design choice likely influenced by the Dreamcast's hardware capabilities. This article discusses the Dreamcast game Sakurazaka Fire, focusing on Yuko Sakuracho's carefree lake tour bike trip through Hokkaido. The feature highlights Yuko's appreciation for nature, showcasing locations like Kushiro National Park, Shiratoko Peninsula, Akan Lake, where she marvels at Marimo, and Lake Mashu. At Kawayu Onsen, she enjoys digging for and soaking in hot springs. The game's best shot system, where players capture photos, is also introduced. Attack points influence these best shots, with some scenes offering more than the usual 5 photo opportunities. The article concludes with a My Best Scene comment from Minami Sayaka, recalling Yuko's charming reaction to Marimo. Quote, "This page is a guide on how to use the Kingdom Communication Station in World Neverland Plus, Orario Kingdom Stories. It explains the basic operations within the communication station, which allows players to interact with each other, exchange opinions, and share personal data like character information. The guide covers essential operations, such as downloading data, saving data, and calling up menus. It also provides helpful tips for writing notes effectively, suggesting using gray text for quotations to make notes easier to read and understand, and advising to mainly quote only the immediately preceding message to avoid overly long and confusing threads. Screenshots show in-game menus related to data downloads, data saving, and message display, providing visual examples of the features being explained. It emphasizes the importance of being considerate to other users in the communication station, highlighting it as a place for friendly interaction. The page also mentions checking the Notice Note within the game for important announcements from the Royal Library. This page discusses comfortable card mail for Dreamcast and answers frequently asked questions about World Neverland. The page explains how to use card mail effectively, suggesting saving emails and understanding the communication system. It lists conditions that trigger card mail like character gender and affiliations such as Beat ORLG, Ban ORLG, Urius ORLG, and becoming a royal guard or popular person. The page answers questions related to World Neverland. One question is about children in the game, stating that it can be harder to have children when your character is older or has high stats, advising players to keep trying and explore in-game conditions. Another question is about migration, clarifying that migrants are provided with housing, but sometimes housing is limited. Finally, a question addresses match wins, suggesting players consider their opponent's skills and choose techniques accordingly, recommending focusing on skills that can defeat the opponent's abilities and practicing to improve. The page also announces the winners of the Dory's Card Mail Contest, showcasing examples of winning card mail messages from users like Lunaris Umbra and Kiku YOC. The winners are selected based on the content and originality of their messages, with comments praising the heartwarming and humorous nature of some entries. This page is focused on reader submissions for the game World Neverland Plus, Orudo Kingdom Monogatari, which is known as Orude Kingdom Life internationally. The page showcases fan-made 4-panel manga strips. The first section is about forgotten items and features 2 manga. One is about someone forgetting an item and realizing it later, attributing it to work fatigue. The other depicts combat situations in the game, with characters using skills like Power Shot and Holy Mist. The accompanying text explains that in the game, forgotten items are first come, first served, with a warning about players who might destroy them. The second section covers lost items, and also has 2 manga. One strip illustrates finding a lost item and deciding to keep it, referring to it as national property, and wanting it for the wife. The next one shows a scenario where someone is warned by their wife not to pick up a lost item, and upon inspection, it turns out to be poison. The description for this section mentions a humorous situation where someone was going to pick up a lost item for their wife, but was stopped by her shout, highlighting the wife's love being enough instead of the item. Finally, the page announces the start of card mail reception for player feedback and submissions of funny or touching stories from the game. A sample card message from a player named Dory expresses enjoyment of the 4-koma manga corner and a preference for it. This page showcases reader-submitted 4-panel manga strips in the Old Kingdom mail-in communication section. There's a call for submissions encouraging readers to send in their own 4-koma manga. The page includes guidelines for submission, specifying dimensions, and requesting that entries be in color. The submitted manga cover a range of humorous everyday scenarios. One strip, titled Night Crying, depicts the relatable situation of forgetting something and being upset about it at night. Accumulated Desire humorously touches on the desire for wealth and subsequent spending regrets. Quickly depicts the impatient desire for plants to grow quickly. What Now features a funny misunderstanding involving sea urchin eggs. Proposal shows a comical miscommunication during a proposal. Finally, High Hollow Circle Re-Sensei presents a humorous take on character data and relationship woes. These short comics offer lighthearted, relatable situations. The next page is a feature on the Fighting Integration Disc 7th Cross game, focusing on the second tournament results for the Skosmos Dreamcast Magazine Cup. This was a network-based tournament. The page details the official tournament regulations, including a warning about double entries, entry limitations, and part restrictions based on stats. It outlines the tournament schedule, prizes for both the no-weight class and middleweight class categories, and also includes comments from participants about the high level of competition and strategies used in the matches. Screenshots from 7th Cross Evolution are featured, showcasing the in-game battles and creature customization aspects. The tournament was held from September 1st to September 15th, and the organizer was Nechi. This page covers tournament results for the Dreamcast game Sere Galari, Spirit Hunter, a creature battling game where players customize creatures and battle them. The page highlights the second tournament, separated into open and middleweight classes. In the open class tournament, APCHE was considered a strong contender, but ultimately lost in the finals to HAPY. The semifinal matches saw Angel losing to Happy Y, and TEMJIN losing to APCHE. The final match outcome was attributed to Happy Y's high-speed bio racer legs, which led to a close-range continuous attack victory, despite APCHE having a strong setup. The middle-class tournament saw GADRAM as the champion, defeating LETASU in the final. Semi-final matches had LETASU winning against APCHEAS, and DOL losing to GADRAM. The final match was decided by GADRAM's superior attack power compared to DL, even though DL had high dex. GADRAM's Evil Wise arm and its special properties also contributed to its victory. The page notes that in both classes, creatures fighting at mid-range are common and stats are carefully considered. For the middle class, AT, DEF, and DX stats are emphasized, with many creatures having stats of 999. The page ends by encouraging players to strengthen their middle-class creatures and participate in future tournaments. This page showcases a manga comic strip for the Dreamcast game Evolution, The World of Sacred Device. The strip is part of a character introduction section, featuring profiles for Mag Launcher, a 16-year-old adventurer, Linear Cannon, a mysterious girl, Pepperbox, a treasure hunter, and Chain Gun, a rival character of the Launcher family. The manga panels depict humorous situations with Mag Launcher and Linear Cannon in a dungeon setting, encountering puzzles and treasure chests. Emphasizing the adventurous nature of the game, it highlights dungeon exploration and the treasure hunting aspects of Evolution, The World of Sacred Device. The bottom of the page lists the game titles Evolution, The World of Sacred Device, and Evolution 2, Far Off Promise. This page announces the results of the Oh My EGG illustration contest. The contest was for the action RPG Elemental Gimmick Gear, and the aim was to find the best original robot designs to be made into 3D models by renowned modeler Takayuki Takeya. The judges for the contest are listed as Takayuki Takeya from Figure Production, Hiroshi Arai and Hideki Watanabe, the original creators of Elemental Gimmick Gear from Birthday,
Takeo Ito the director, and Takahiko Mune from Sales at Hudson, Tadayuki Sato from Dengeki Hobby Magazine, and Kosuke Katori from Hudson's development department. The top prize winner is GCKEG G01, piloted by Wilson Keeper, a design focused on underwater exploration up to 50 meters deep for 35 hours. The excellent work prizes went to Sakura Month, piloted by Paula, described as having a round body and fast spin dash, and Desert Hog, piloted by Ricard, an egg-shaped design suited for sandy environments. The page shows images of the winning robot designs, and also photos of Takayuki Takeya and other judges reviewing the entries. Takeya is quoted emphasizing the need for cool and impactful EGG designs and the rigorous judging process to ensure professional quality models. Further down, there are also images of other noteworthy entries and the locations of their creators. This article explores the virtual A-Shan Oratorio Tangram lore, specifically concerning V-crystals and the FR08 conglomerate. The truth of V-crystal reveals V-crystals, the energy source for Mecha, are not solely from the Moongate, but also CIS and real space, with variations like Moon and Ace crystals. Corporate State of Internal and External Worries details FR08, a powerful company rebuilding the corporate landscape after DN's fall, based in Antarctica, and facing challenges from the RNA rebellion. MSBS Ver.5 development highlights internal FR08 factions, with the Zero Plant faction focusing on the Tangram system and wary of VR's entry into war. Finally, VR development and the confused state that causes it explains VR's advancement driven by conflict, despite initial hesitations, with FR08 factions debating the focus on Tangram versus immediate VR profits. The article concludes by hinting at unanswered questions about the origins of V-crystals and V-converter components. This page is dedicated to Cybertroopers Virtual On Oratorio Tangram. It discusses the background of the game's development, noting it's set in VC of 4 year. The text explains the conflict between TSC and the Zero Plant faction, focusing on the development of V-converters. It mentions the FR08 system and the need for VR handling to be easier. The text details how the MSBS and Ver.5 series were important for the development, leading to the selection of a mysterious prototype VR called XBV-13, Valbasbau. It concludes by mentioning the assassination of Tristram Riffor in VC of 4 year, and the resulting power shifts within the Earth's sphere. The page seems to provide in-depth lore and development context for the game, rather than a gameplay review or preview. This page showcases the Ball series, which is described as a difficult system multifunctional prototype machine, specifically focusing on the XBU-819TR Balbados, also known as Valbados. The page provides detailed technical information about the BALBADOS, explaining its development history, including its origins from the 8th Plant Fresh Reforer, FR08, and its relation to VR groups. The text delves into the complexities of its control system, V-converter, and its evolution as a second-generation VAL series, VR. It also mentions the XBV-13 Valbasbau as a prototype, and the development process that led to the BALBADOS, highlighting the adoption of human-type VR design for better performance. The page also mentions the later upgrades of the BALBADOS, with various weapons and its role as a standard VR unit in MSBS battles. The images show the BALBADOS mecha in 2 color variations, showcasing its design from different angles. This page is dedicated to Cybertroopers Virtual On Oratorio Tangram, showcasing the BALBAROS and BALKEROS mecha units. The BALBAROS is presented as a versatile second-generation model, adaptable for various combat roles with interchangeable upper body units, excelling in underwater missions, and boasting extended operational endurance. In contrast, the BALKEROS is introduced as a specialized unit developed around VCA-4 for searching for the lost Tangram core, equipped with a CIS navigation system and a temporary gate field designed for clandestine operations. The page includes notes that reveal deeper game lore, referencing a drama CD,
the electromagnetic virtual space known as Cyber Imagination Space, and the V Project, led by Overlord Amber IV. It mentions the revival of the BBB unit at Moongate, the dismantling of the Zero Plant, and the DN Corporation's shift towards selling VR technology for warfare. The notes touch upon the Tangram's true purpose being obscured, and the CIS operational time limit being significantly short at just 15 minutes, contrasting with the standard 90 seconds for second-generation CIS units. The preview for the next issue teases the RVR-87 Spesinef and Overlord Amber IV, indicating further exploration into the game's narrative and characters. This page showcases a range of Sega prizes available in amusement centers, highlighting Super Jumbo plush toys and various merchandise for August and September. The prize list includes items like keychains, plush dolls, clocks, mirrors, t-shirts, towels, figures, and desktop accessories featuring characters from various series. It's an advert for Sega-branded prizes rather than game content. This page is about Disney prizes available in amusement centers during August and September. It showcases various merchandises featuring Mickey Mouse and friends in different styles, such as denim and festival outfits, as plush toys and sports figures. There are also Nightmare Before Christmases themed wall lights and bath sets. The page mentions a website, http://www.jamma.or.jp/, for further details and comic strips that discuss these prizes being available at game centers, including Sega prizes until March 2000, and an event at Tokyo Big Sight related to amusement machines. It encourages readers to check out the new prizes at game centers. This page announces the release of the Dino Crisis Original Soundtrack CD, describing it as panic horror in the style of Resident Evil, and mentioning the bonus dinosaur pendant with the initial release. The page also contains a section encouraging readers to submit illustrations and text to the magazine, and features a cute Rockman Dash character drawing. Lastly, an article titled Shiki Aki's Monster Tale 12th Night, Suppression and Fantasy, Vampire 12, explores vampire stories, drawing connections to Dracula and Carmilla. This page presents a weekly horoscope section titled Weekly Dreamcastrology. It covers the period from August 27th to September 2nd. Each zodiac sign is featured with advice, lucky items, and general fortunes in areas like money, health, love, and work. The horoscopes are presented with cartoon illustrations for each sign, depicted as both a boy and girl version. The page emphasizes finding luck through various actions and items based on the zodiac signs, such as using white and Japanese paper for Aries, or cream colors and libraries for Taurus, and body soap and purple for Sagittarius. There is also a section called This Week's Lucky Person, which highlights someone named Kiyomi Asano, who was born on August 29th. The text encourages readers to be brave and look towards the future. This page is an advertisement for Dreamcast Magazine Reader Presents. There are 4 prize categories available to readers who answer a questionnaire. First prize is Dreamcast software for 20 winners, shown with a screenshot from a racing game. Second prize is a Soul Calibur poster and trading card set for 3 winners. Third prize is Dreamcast Magazine original merchandise for 10 winners. Fourth prize is the High Fashion 8th issue magazine for 10 winners. The deadline for applications is September 9th. The next issue of Dreamcast Magazine, September 17th issue, is previewed, highlighting upcoming games such as Shenmue, Eternal Arcadia, which was released internationally as Skies of Arcadia, J-League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru, Descrimson 2, Golf Yaruz, Romania No. 203, Gakyu Yamazaki, Soul Calibur, and Mobile Suit Gundam. Other titles mentioned include Gaiden Colony no Ochita-chi Dewe, Professional Baseball Team Otsukuru, New Japan Pro Wrestling 2 Kanratsuden 4, Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 1, The Blue Destiny, Nadesico the Mission, and Cool Borders BURRRRN. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Pro Yaku Team Otsukuru, which translates to Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team. It highlights the game's online network play, allowing up to 10,000 teams to compete in network tournaments. Players can become managers and team presidents, building their own professional baseball team. The ad also mentions entry recruitment for baseball teams and network tournaments happening weekly. It lists various baseball teams like Baystars, Dragons, Giants, Swallows, Carp, Tigers, Fighters, Blue Wave, Hawks, Buffaloes, and Marines. The game was priced at 5,800 yen and the advertisement directs players to a website for more information about tournaments and communication with other players. This page is an advertisement for the Dreamcast game Black Matrix A.D. The advert highlights the game's title prominently and mentions it is a 2-disc game with a suggested retail price of 6,800 yen. NEC Interchannel is listed as the publisher with their contact information for user support.